What is up, Dynasty peeps? It's good to be here with you on this Friday. We're going to be answering Dynasty fantasy football questions. This is our home. This is where we belong. This is where we are the most comfortable, is talking about Dynasty instead of redraft.
I'm also most comfortable with that intro. I thought that was pretty cool. I haven't heard it in a long time.
I know, it's pretty catchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be answering all your Dynasty questions today. It's going to be trades. It's going to be strategies. It's going to be teams. Anything. We're literally answering anything. So drop all your questions, any of your Dynasty questions that you want answered on the stream in the comments, because, like I said, we're going to go through and answer every single comment today for you guys. And we are also going to do this small thing called Get to 5K today. That is what we are doing. We obviously have been doing this for about a year now. So it's a big milestone for us. We're excited for this. But if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that right now, because we are going to get to 5K, and we're not going to leave till we do. So like I said, drop all your questions, and we are going to talk some Dynasty Fantasy Football today. Sam's here with us. What's up, Sam?
Good morning.
Yep. It's not morning, but...
It is for some people.
We're at 4,984 subscribers right now, meaning we are 16 subscribers until we hit 5,000. Is that the right math?
Yeah, well, I'll just keep refreshing the page to see where we're at. We're still at 4,984.
All right, 4,984 it is.
Yep.
All right, let's get into the questions here. Like I said, if you guys have questions, drop it in the comments. Let's get down to the Lawn Beast. What's up, Lawn Beast? Good to see you, my friend. You've got a 10-team super flex. You're trading Henry, I'm assuming that is Derek's type, Michael Thomas, and a 24-second for John Taylor. I hope that's Jonathan Taylor, because if it is, like, I don't think you need any help there. I think you are easily taking Jonathan Taylor there.
Our help is take that trade if you haven't already. Please.
Like if you have that trade outstanding, you've got to go.
You need to do that now,
dude. Yeah. I got to jump down to Dylan. Dylan just said he subbed, and I just appreciate the frick out of that. So, Dylan, thank you so much, my friend. We really appreciate you. Welcome to the community. If you ever need anything, drop in the comments. Yeah, we're probably going to have some hot takes at some point. And that if you can see through hot takes, then you really belong here. That's what I'd like to tell people. So, Dylan, we appreciate you, my friend. Lawn Beast, you're taking Jonathan Taylor. Let's jump to Zilke. I'm going to call him Zilke. Zilke says that yes, do that if you're receiving Taylor. Zilke's right.
Agree.
Dylan says no redraft. Gotcha. Yeah, that is true. Open for business. What is up, Open for Business? We are open for your business. And it says 12 teams, Superflex sent Bears QBs, Fields, and Badgett. You traded Badgett? What? How could you? For Myers and Myers for Kyler 24
I already
second.
love it.
Holy crap.
Good job.
Well done. Yes, we love that trade. We do. We think that right now, we think that Fields is a declining asset in Dynasty. If you're not new to the channel, you already know this. Shout out to whoever just subscribed. We are 14 subscribers from 5,000. Let's get there.
Go.
We are all in favor of moving off of him. Not to mention, Kyler Murray is one of the biggest buys in Dynasty fantasy football right now.
Well, his buy window's closing. The minute he starts playing and putting up points again, he's not going to be a buy anymore. So all of you who invested in him this offseason and even got him as a rebuild for the first 6 weeks of the season, good job. Good job. You're feeling really good right now.
Yeah.
Zilke says, just traded Thielen for a late 24 first and fourth. Zilke,
that's fantastic.
Hats off to you.
So
salute.
with
Well
Adam
done.
Thielen,
I will say that's not very common. What I do believe is very possible for any of you Thielen owners that may be rebuilding or middle of the pack and want to punt to next year, you can absolutely get 2 seconds for Adam Thielen. I think we said that in a video a couple weeks ago, a Dynasty video, and we were not joking. We were not lying. We were not pulling that out of our butts. I just got that deal done in a rebuild league just yesterday, I believe. So it honestly, and it makes sense too. I mean, Thielen's playing as a high-end wide receiver 1 right now, absolutely dominating at 33 years old, and that's what Contender's got to pay. So.
Yeah. Good trade. And like I said, if you're a rebuilder and you've got Thielen, you can get really good value. I'd recommend trading him right now.
Yeah.
Dylan says I'll drop a subscription just for the redraft question and answer. Just joking. Gotcha. Thank you, my friend.
Appreciate you.
Ryan Bread's here. He says, fellas, what's up, Ryan Bread? Good to see you, my friend. If you don't know Ryan Bread, at FFRyanBread on Twitter, he is one of the domain staff guys, and he is very, very valuable to all the information that you get on camera. He's just doing it behind the scenes.
Make sure you refer to him as Mr. Bread.
Mr. Bread, please. He prefers it. Our friend Oscar's here. Oscar, we'll do what?
The use dead.
That's true. Oscar, what's up, man? Says, if I want to trade Burrow, what's an offer that someone can't refuse? 2 QB league. Okay, so Superflex league, if you want to trade for Burrow, my bad. Okay, so I mean, I think you're getting any combination of 2nd, 3rd, and 4th round guys. I'd want one of each round. That's when you see these first round picks going like in these startup drafts. That's what you see them going for. You see them going for a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th. Talking about guys like a Breece Hall, and then like Travis Kelce, or I mean a better example would probably be like T.J. Hawkinson, and then like I don't know where Kenneth Walker's going now. Drake London.
Now, what can market value not refuse? A lot lower than that. Honestly, there's a lot of people buying Burrow right now because of how cheap he is. I know this doesn't sound cheap because we're in the middle of the season, but if your team's taking a turn for the worse and you happen to own Tyreek Hill, you happen to own a contending running back like Christian McCaffrey even, or Tua, A.J. Brown, you can literally... You could flip one of those guys plus maybe a little bit more to go get Joe Burrow, and it would absolutely be worth it.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, we're getting a ton of comments, so do keep in mind as we're watching the stream, number 1, we're 14 subscribers away. Sam, would you take the subscribers and put it in the middle and make it big for me?
Yeah.
Because
actually, just put it...
This is a 5K. This is the 5K stream.
Put it on Avery's face.
Yeah.
No, not on my face.
Okay.
I'll put it somewhere.
And then also, we're getting a ton of comments, so if you guys do want to jump the line, Super Chats are going to jump in front of everybody. That's how it always is, but we just usually get so many questions we can't answer them all. So we're going to keep working down the list, though, so drop every single question you've got. Eventually, we should get to it. But
Don't spam the chat. Doesn't help us.
Yeah, well, let's keep going here. Let's go to Jimbo Slice. What's up, Jimbo Slice? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for joining the show.
Jimbo.
I'm trying to trade CeeDee Lamb to upgrade at another position. 12 teams, Superflex, tight end premium. Love those rules. Considering a Hawkinson and Pittman, or Kenneth Walker and Drake London. Okay. Or maybe package him with someone else for Lamar. Yeah, I mean, I think my first choice there would be to... I think my first choice would be to try to get Lamar. because I don't think I'm taking Hawk and Pittman or Kenneth Walker and Drake London for over CeeDee Lamb.
No. CD is debatably a buy low right now. It's a soft buy low, but he hasn't been doing amazing. Obviously, he had a good Monday night game and whatnot, but I mean, for where he was being drafted and what he was expected to do in fantasy this year, he hasn't like blown our socks off with what he's been doing from a production standpoint. I wouldn't be against holding CD right now. Again, unless you're getting Lamar, that's completely fine. But what am I giving up on top of CD to get Lamar? Not much.
Yeah.
Maybe a guy that's worth a second-round pick, market value-wise, to go and get Lamar there.
Yeah.
Jacob. No.
Paul.
What's
up, Paul?
Says, year 6 of Dynasty. Nice. Is James Cook a sell? Would you or him by himself or package with someone like DJ Moore, who's someone to target? 10-team Superflex. Other backs are Bijan, Brees, and Pacheco.
You got some good running backs.
Yeah, you do.
I think he could be. I don't know. I mean, let's look at his keep trade cut and see if we're going to be selling that low. James Cook was a sell at the beginning of the season, and we put him in a video and we said you have to sell James Cook right now. There's no way he lives up to this.
You can get a 25 first. You can get Deshaun Watson. You can get Dak
James
Prescott.
Cook?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deshaun's fallen very far.
So what I would recommend is going on to keep trade cut, looking at the guys you can get for him, and then trying to send those offers out because it sounds like he's way overvalued.
If you can pay James Cook in a second to go get Deshaun Watson, please do that.
Yeah. I agree. Jacob, what's up, my friend? Says 12-team 1 QB. Currently 1-5. And then you got Stroud, Kyler, Brees, Javonte, Gibbs, Roschon, Kendra, London, Pickens, Moore, Mims, Dotson, Burks, Freiermuth, and Chig. What should I be doing? I think you're clearly in rebuild mode if you're 1-5. So looking at your roster, first thing we're going to do is we're going to get any asset that is going to be declining in value or even has the potential to decline in value. So usually those are going to be old guys off your roster. So looking through, I don't see any of those guys. I don't see anybody I'd be selling right now. I would be maybe seeing if you can move some guys to acquire 24 first. But again, it looks like you have DJ Moore. If that's DJ Moore, then yeah, 100% moving DJ Moore right now, trying to move him for 24 first if we can. Outside of that, those guys are all very good rebuilding pieces.
Problem solved.
Yeah, those guys are all very good rebuilding pieces. So I think you're in really good shape with what your roster is right now if you're 1-5 and you're wanting to rebuild. So just keep your picks. Try to accumulate more if you can. But again, the roster, you've got good young guys. Jahmyr Gibbs may be looking to selling for some picks. That would be our advice for Jahmyr Gibbs right now. But that's looking like a fairly good rebuild roster to me. So I think you're going to be in really good shape.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Paul.
Shmoney Blue says, I hate to keep asking you this. He's a supporter of us on Discord. One last counter offer. 2 QB, give up Herbert and CD for J-Jeff, 24 late first and second, 10 team. I'm 0-6. Thanks for all the help again, Nathan, on Discord. No problem, man. Happy to help you out. Giving up, I assume, Justin Herbert and CD Lamb, right? It's got to be Justin Herbert and CeeDee Lamb for Justin Jefferson and a 24 late first. Nope, I'm taking Herbert and CD there. I'm taking Herbert straight up over Justin Jefferson, and obviously the first and second. No thanks, I'll take CD there. Rybread says don't trade CD in Dynasty. We would agree.
Correct.
At the moment. King of Sports, what should I be able to get for Waller or Schultz, and should I trade Moss? If I did, what should I be able to get for him? This is funny. In Dynasty, if you're trading away Zach Moss, what I would take 2/3. I personally would take 2/3.
I would too.
It's funny because Simon back in the day before Moss started playing and going off was saying that you had to pay a second if you wanted him or whatever.
He's still not worth a second.
He's not worth a second even with his production, but it's closer than we ever thought it would be. I would
but more
take
than a fourth. So
I would take a couple
wrong.
thirds.
Yeah.
I would take a couple thirds there, because even. If he's playing behind JT, I think he's played well enough that he'll earn himself a starting job elsewhere. So yeah, don't mind him there, but taking the picks. Waller or Schultz, who would you get if you gave up Waller or Schultz?
I wouldn't necessarily be trading Schultz. I think his return on investment's way too good for what his value is right now. With Waller, I don't even know what are the value equivalent assets on keep trade cut for.
I would take a second straight out for Waller.
Yeah, if you can get a second for Darren Waller, I would be doing that.
There's going to be a lot of contenders that are desperate for tight ends, and they're going to think that Darren Waller is going to be able to help them produce at a higher level at tight end, when in reality, whatever they're giving up isn't worth what they're getting in Darren Waller, because it's such a crapshoot, such a dumpster fire at the tight end position this season. It's not worth owning Darren Waller on your team. So if you're trying to get him off your hands and you're selling him to a contender who thinks he's going to make a difference, take the second. Maybe he'll even pay a couple seconds if you're lucky. I mean, I traded Adam Thielen and I got 2 seconds, but he's producing as a wide receiver one and he's 33. So,
all right, our main goal on this live stream is to get that number right there to 5,000. So if you're watching and you have not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 5K and celebrate on this live stream. So you're helping us out. We really appreciate it. Go ahead, Nate.
Gavin says, how to tier up from
What's up,
Najee to Jonathan Taylor, non-superflex league with good wide receiver depth. Does Pittman get it done? I think it depends on what your league still thinks of Najee Harris. If they think of Najee Harris the way we do in Dynasty, it's gonna take a couple firsts to get Jonathan Taylor when you're giving up Najee Harris.
Yes.
That, like, legitimately, I think Najee Harris is close to CEH territory when it comes to a dynasty value, which is valueless.
Yeah.
If you have someone that still is a believer in Najee Harris, bite, absolutely. If you can do Najee and a first and a second to get JT, I would absolutely do that. But I wouldn't be surprised, man, if people are asking for a couple firsts on top of Najee there. Matthew Swan says, how do you guys approach being in a middling team with your first? Or without your first. 2 and 4 would be 4 and 2 if I'd chosen the right start. Sit decisions for different matchups.
Yeah.
Too good to suck, but not good enough to win.
Good. If you're 2 and 4, I'm probably going to wait one more week. And if you move to 3 and 4, and you can move to 4 and 4, maybe you could even afford to wait 2 more weeks. If you can move to 500, then maybe make some moves to contend.
Yeah. Because
honestly, that's the best option right now without your first. I would be doing everything you can right now to go out and try to win the championship. So, if you're look at your max points look at your max points in the league detail settings of your sleeper league standings. And if you are not a pretender in your top 6 in one or both of those categories, then make some moves to go contend. If you don't have your first, that's really what you have to do there, I think. Yeah. Zilke says, trying to trade James Cook. What is the minimum you think I should receive for him if I want to get rid of him today? The minimum, would you take a second for James Cook? Probably not. 2 seconds?
I would consider it. As bad as running back is right now, I think people might get desperate and towards the end of the season pay more for him.
So I would either say like a good flex player or first.
Yeah.
All right, we have a super chat from our friend Uncle Rico. What's up, Uncle Rico?
Uncle Rico.
What's up, fellas? This is question 1 or 2, by the way. Question about your general philosophy on making a dynasty trade while going for the ship. This is a 12-team Start 11 Superflex PPR, and here is his lineup. It is loading. Again, guys, we're getting this to 5,000 today, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't. And Uncle Reed says he's got Burrow, Swift, Mondre, James Cook, B-Rob, Garrett, Ayuk, Thielen, Hawk, a young bench with solid roster construction and good 24 and 25 draft capital. I'm 3 and 3. I should make the playoffs. There's a chance I don't. Should I trade James Cook, Thielen, and Jimmy G for Devonta and a 24 third? Thanks. You are very welcome. Yes, I'm making that trade no matter what your record is. That's way too good of a value trade.
Too good of a value trade. Absolutely. And that's actually a discussion I had with someone last night who was asking me a question that related to this same sort of concept. They're like, "Hey, I am really good. I'm making a run for the championship. I'm quite easily top 3, but this deal market value wise is pretty good. Now, we're big advocates for going and winning your championship.
Yes, we
going and winning money in your dynasty leagues because you don't win dynasty championships by having long-term value.
Correct.
You do by scoring more points, just like fantasy. If it is too good of a market value deal like that, even if you're sacrificing a few points by not having Adam Thielen, it doesn't matter to me. Because if you if you take that deal for Devonta Smith and you're not comfortable with his upside this year, go get an older contending asset that's scoring more points than him this year that's more reliable than what you currently have. So I like that.
So in the philosophy of trying to trade while going for the ship, I do think it's important. Like, obviously, if you don't have your 24 first, then you have to be a little bit more careful on what moves you make. If you do have your 24 first and you're going for the championship, this is a trade, like, I don't care if I'm going for the championship or not here. I'm making this trade. Again, it's all about value in Dynasty. This trade in a year, you'll look like a genius for it. Thielen will be valueless in 2 years. He has good contender value now. Jimmy G, I mean, yeah, okay. And James Cook's like, okay. I mean, we're talking about Devonta Smith. You're talking about owning one of the premier players in Dynasty Fantasy Football from a wide receiver standpoint.
Yeah. Joe Burrow is one of those guys where I would be willing to sacrifice me winning a league this year if I could just get him in Dynasty.
Yeah,
because of the discount that he's going for. Like, I will overpay market value-wise to go get him because it's still an underpay at the moment, and you're not going to regret that at all.
Yeah, and he says he's got good capital. You've got good capital in the 24-25 drafts. I think, you've got to make that trade. That's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Uncle Rico, appreciate your super chat, my friend. Thank you so much. Guys, if you want to jump the line, we're working our way down, but if you want to jump the line, super chats are going to get you to the front right away.
Crazy Madness 999 says, rebuilding team traded Addison and a late first for an early top 4 first this year and a first from that same manager next year. So a 24 first and a 25 first for Addison and a late first. Not convinced on Addison will be that elite player I need, so took a punt.
If it's top 4, this is fine. That means you're paying Addison to move up.
Yeah. I will say.
And another first.
I'm confident that you did this, but just a warning for anyone who ever considers a deal like this, you better be 1,000% certain that's going to be a top 4 pick.
Yep,
1,000% and more.
But personally, if you're sure it's a top 4, you're talking about Marvin Harrison Jr., Caleb Williams, Drake May, Igbuka. Like, right there.
And probably the top running back in that class.
It's probably going to get better. Like, I think I'm really comfortable making that trade anyways.
Speaking of,
it's a great question.
A 24 class question. Raheem Sanders, have you heard, like, he's kind of been under the radar
He's been really underwhelming this year. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what his...
Very unfortunate.
Jimbo Slice says, give 2 mid-2024 seconds for DeAndre Swift. Any concern with him being an undrafted free agent? Yes, there is concern about that.
Yep, absolutely.
I do think, although you'd be buying Swift high right now, I don't think that's paying a high price for Swift.
I would absolutely take Swift for that price.
I'm making that trade and taking DeAndre Swift there.
If you're getting a pretty solid first for DeAndre Swift, a 24 first, I would jump on that opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Jimbo. Danny says, avoided Justin Fields in my startup draft thanks to you guys. Dude, look at that. We actually, for all the crap we got for that, we helped people out. Danny, that is really good to hear, my friend.
That's good to hear.
I'm glad you avoided him. Like, you were smart it's not always the smartest thing to listen to exactly what we say every time, because we're not always right, but we were right about that one. Danny, good job, my friend. Yeah. Lon B says, thanks, guys. You're welcome, Lon Beast. Spontaneous Ego, what's up? I'm rebuilding. Should I take advantage of Addison's production and sell him straight up for JSN? Ooh. I've been trying to get JSN Plus from the guy, and he won't budge. Yeah, if you can get JSN Plus, yes. Straight up, I'm probably just going to hold Addison there. I don't like straight up trades. Neither does Nathan. We don't like 1-for-1s. Addison's producing. Addison is the type of running back wow, credibility. Yeah. Addison's the type of wide receiver that is going to produce in the NFL. He's a good route runner. He's good at identifying soft spots in man and zone. Like, I'm very confident Addison will produce for a long time. With JSN, I'm very confident in JSN too. But that being said, I mean, if JSN was producing at the level Addison was right now, we'd be thrilled. Well,
JSN's ceiling is just higher in Seattle than Addison's ever will be with Justin Jefferson.
But at the point where you're making a 1-for-1 trade, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Bolo me boys is 3-3, 4th in max PF, and want to go all in. What can I give a losing team for Eckler? A losing team? Any losing team is going to want to pick.
Yeah.
And
this is good. This is a good trade. This is something I'd be looking for, trying to snipe these Ecklers, these Jacobs, these wide receivers, Stephon Diggs, off of these teams that have flopped. So what would I give? I'd be looking to give a 24 first and a rebuilding piece.
Yeah. Yep. 24 first, a rebuilding prospect.
Or just a 24 first, see if that gets it done.
Try with a first to begin with. Yeah. Because Eckler hasn't been playing. So there's a possibility that you could say, hey, there's still some question marks with Austin Eckler. I'm going to give you the first. He's going into the last year of his already second deal, and he's probably not going to get a third. Like, he is a true contending piece, is going to lose a ton of value after this year. So they may bite on that.
And yeah, they should. That'd be like, I'm going for the championship, so I need him this year. You are going to let him rot on your roster if you don't. So love that type of trade, Bull, my boy. Thank you for joining us tonight. Indy fam. What's up, Indy fam?
Yo.
I hope that means you're from Indy. We like Indy people. In Dynasty, traded Gibbs, Puka, and Pitts for Etienne and Taylor. My wide receivers are Cup, Adams, Wilson, Olave, Ridley, and Mims. Did I win or lose?
Good job. I like that.
I like that trade. I think you won that trade. Good
Yep.
job. Chris, what's up, man?
Yo, Chris. Would you trade Waddle for Puka plus start 9, 1 PPR? We're not selling Waddle right now. Puka, in our eyes at the moment, is unless you're getting 2 firsts, we're not moving off Puka either. I haven't talked to you about it in a while, but I'm still not moving off Puka unless I get 2 firsts.
I like moving him for assets in that range that I believe in more than
If you're getting Waddle straight up for Puka, I'm taking Waddle easily.
I saw Puka in a second for Waddle. I'm taking Waddle all day.
Puka can't go any higher than that.
No,
there is no way, not possible. So anything's possible. He can do whatever he wants, I guess, as a rookie, 5th round rookie. But still, got to take Waddle here. He's a screaming buy low at the moment. A lot of people are really down on him after underwhelming to start the season. It's been tough, but come on. We know what he's capable of doing. David says, 5K subscribers. This is the stream to get it. Let's go.
We are 13 subscribers
13
away from 5,000. So if you play Dynasty and you're watching this, let's get there, first of all. Drop your question and we'll answer it, second of all. And Super Chats are going to jump the line because we got a ton of questions to get through, third of all. Let's get to 5K.
We have so many people watching.
Let's do it.
I guarantee there's 13 people watching
there.
right now that haven't subscribed.
You guys are the best. Get us there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Kevin,
what's up, man?
in a 12-team Superflex start 9, what's a package you would consider tearing off of Patrick Mahomes to Anthony Richardson? My friend.
A lot.
Mucho.
Mucho's monies.
We love Anthony Richardson.
It's our favorite player.
Honestly, with the shoulder injury, you could put him right there by Andrew Luck and just consider him dead. Just kidding. We're not overreacting in Dynasty with him. Honestly, this is a really great opportunity for you to buy Anthony Richardson as a discount because people are already going to label him as injury prone, and that's not a good idea. Don't do that. He's barely 21 years old.
Yes.
The first 2 injuries, they were not. It was a concussion where he snapped his head back, and the first one he knocked knees, and they took him out because they were playing in garbage time. This is the only legitimate injury he's had. Shoulder injury, super unfortunate, got tackled. If you are down tiering from Mahomes to get Anthony, I want 2 firsts.
I would want at least 2 firsts. At least 2 firsts from Mahomes to Anthony Richardson.
We rarely ever recommend moving off of Patrick Mahomes because he is levels above any other dynasty asset, and that includes 2 and 3 in startups. That includes Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Consensus 101.
Consensus 101, and it's not close.
Dude, 11 more. We are getting it. Is
49.89.
Let's go. We're getting there. There it is. It's going to get there.
Yeah.
Good question, Kevin. Our guy Seb Balboa. Oh, wow. Seb Balboa, what's up? That was a mouthful. I'm sorry. 12-team Superflex.
I want to go back to that after the stream.
Gosh. Drafted a rebuild, so AR5 Stroud, G. Willie, London, Pittman, JSN, Puka. You traded Garrett Wilson for Tank Dell and 2 firsts and a second. Was that trade a win? I have 224 firsts, 1 high. Who should I grab? Good question. So first of all, Garrett Wilson for Tank Dell, 2 firsts and a second.
I'm fine with that deal.
I'm okay with that.
Because you're getting insulated value in the 24 first. A lot of questions surrounding the Jets long term with the Rodgers injury. Is he going to come back and play? Is Rodgers, if he comes back this year, will he play next year if they have success? If they make the postseason or whatnot. So I'm worried about Garrett Wilson long term for sure. So there's a chance that you have those 24 firsts in March, in April, whenever the draft happens, and you can flip one of those to get Garrett Wilson straight up again in your market value.
No, it went down. We're back to 49.88.
No.
We do have a super chat from our guy Masternator7. What's up? I just got your name. Supposed to be tanking 5 firsts next year. Someone offered me Khalil Herbert and Amari Cooper for Dotson. Had to accept. 3-3 record. Should I abort the tank? Good question. I love flipping these rebuild teams. It went back up. Somebody's trolling us. I love flipping these rebuild teams to contenders midseason. So you've got 5 firsts, man. And so again, you've got Khalil Herbert and Amari Cooper for Dotson. Yes, you have to accept that. Should I abort? And you're 3-3. Look at the deals you can get. Go to some of the losing teams in your league and see what they will sell their elite contending pieces for. Again, I'm talking about guys like Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Austin Eckler, running backs. Help me out.
Joshua Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. Those guys. If you have, I would make sure that you have multiple deals lined up with those firsts. And then I would trade away your late first, And then I would start to move away anything that could be potentially early. I would, of all things, number one, if you have a first that is like looking to be the 101 or 102, you are keeping that first no matter what.
Yeah.
You are not trading that first. If these are mid to late first, I'm fine moving off of them. I'm also probably going to try to keep your first as well. So I think, I think flipping to Contender gives you a chance to win money this year. I love that. If you're 3-3 and you just got Amari Cooper for that price, I think you should be looking maybe to abort the tank. I'm totally cool with that. So great question. We love doing flips from tanking to Contender. So give us a shot. Ask us any questions you have about those trades. We'll let you know if we think it's worth it. But good luck, my friend, and I hope you win your league. Nicholas with the Super Chat. Nicholas, we appreciate your support, my friend. Thank you so much. Your question is, you started 0-4, and you planned for a rebuild. You have some really good assets, Kenneth Walker, Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you already likely have the 101 and another top 5 pick, and then your own. So you don't know whether to fully commit to the rebuild. That's a great question, and looking at your assets, I think you look to me like a 1-year rebuild.
Yep. This is a situation. This is a great situation to be in. And when you're able to accurately estimate at this point in the season where those picks are going to be, that's really when you can determine if you want to move off those now and go for the championship this season, or if you want to wait one more season so you can dominate for the next 3. This is a situation where I want to see you dominate for the next 3 and kind of punt this year. If you end middle of the pack, that's completely fine. Even if you make the playoffs, completely fine. You have great assets. Amon-Ra, Chase, and Kenneth Walker are probably going to be a lot of the reason why you potentially make the playoffs this season as a 6 seed. I'll tell you what, man. Once you have that 101 in April, that's going to be invaluable.
It's a top 12 dynasty pick already.
It's going to be a top at least 16 dynasty
12
startup pick. And it could be Caleb Williams, could be Drake May at this point.
It'll be Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams will
And
be a top 12 dynasty pick as soon as he enters.
He
already should be.
There is way too much value there to not want to bite on and be able to stack your team for the foreseeable future with that draft capital. So you don't have to, I will say, come back to us once you get to March, once you get to April, once the draft comes, and ask us what you should do with those picks. Which ones do you want to move off of? Which ones do you want to hold on to, draft the asset, and maybe utilize them on your team for years to come, or if you want to move off them and get even better assets and more insulated value. So who knows, but you gotta stick with those picks.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and I do think if there's a world where you can keep those 2 picks and still make moves to contend this year,
Well, 3 picks, right?
Yeah, well, if he would move his own maybe and keep the
maybe.
2 instead,
Yep.
and you can contend, always contend if you can.
Yep.
This just to me doesn't look like a team where you've Kenneth Walker, Chase, and Amon-Ra. You have to go and contend this year. That will be a very good contending team next year.
There's going to be so much value in these picks, though, that you don't even have to move off of them if you choose to move off 1 or 2 for contending assets. You can get long-term dynasty assets that are young, that are approaching a second deal, like wide receivers like CeeDee Lamb, like A.J. Brown, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, who are going to get mega deals, and they're going to be worth less than some of those picks that you own. That's crazy.
Whatever you guys do, if you have the pick, whether it's your own pick or somebody else's pick, that is looking like the 101 or the 102, whatever you do, do not trade those picks.
Nope.
You're talking about top
Don't do it.
15 dynasty. I mean, May and Williams will both be top 15 dynasty players when they get drafted. I'm telling you, they are very, very good prospects. They are 2 of the best 5 prospects in the last 10 years, legit. So make sure you hang on to those. Again, Nicholas, thank you so much for your super chat. We appreciate it. Let's jump down our friend Uncle Rico with another one. Thank you, Uncle Rico. We appreciate you, my friend. And you said 5K, baby, LFG. LFG, we are 11 subscribers from 5K.
11.
If you are watching and you have not subscribed, you can help us get there. So you say you pulled the trigger for Devonta and immediately got an intriguing offer. Good. All right, let's break this down live here on the show. You got Devonta for Kirk plus Kamara. Is that Kamara, Alvin Kamara, and Christian Kirk?
You got to assume it's Christian Kirk.
That's a really interesting question. So let's go back to your first question here. Your first question, it was going to be Cook, Thielen, and Jimmy G for Devonta in a third. But looking at your roster, you've got Burrow, Swift, Ramondre, Cook, B-Rob. I mean,
dude, I'm taking that deal.
I'm taking this deal.
I'm taking that deal easy.
Yes. Yeah. You still have to take Devonta Smith here. It's still the right value move. You're buying low on Devonta Smith, a guy who we know has wide receiver 1 ceiling. We saw it last year. He proved it. So, yeah, we're still making that deal. That's a great question.
Yep,
But
I'm not going to lie, man. Honestly, if you're still trying to contend, like, it is nice to own Thielen right now. And
it
if
is.
you're able to hold on to Thielen, like,
and Kirk and
you're
Kamara
still
are
gonna
great
do
too.
well.
But again,
They are.
value.
Yep.
This is about the value, and that is a very good value move. We are 10 subscribers.
Yep.
From 5,000 subscribers on this channel. Appreciate you, Uncle Rico. Guys, if you have a question, drop it in the chat. We're going to go through and answer all these questions today as we get to 5,000 subscribers. And again, if you have a super chat, you jump to first in line, and we go right to your question, and we'll spend more time on it, honestly. So
Like and
also be
subscribe.
subscribing. All right, where are we at?
Mystic Flame says
Flame, what's up?
12 teams, Superflex, start 11, tight end premium 1.5. Devonta Smith or Bijan on a rebuild team. Bijan, easy. Not a question. We're taking him in
Easy.
a Dynasty 12 team.
Says he just doesn't like running backs. This running back is the best one in the league.
He is.
He's the one running back you should like.
You can hate running backs past Bijan. Completely understand.
Bijan is it. He's the truth, man.
Yeah.
He's the truth.
Chef says, sup, gents. Sup. Mondre worth a second and a fourth to a contender. You better believe it, man. I'd pay more than a second to get Montgomery on a contending team right now.
Absolutely,
Like,
I would.
He is.
He's a great contending piece.
Got a lot of insulated value with that contract too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
David Montgomery's probably still
Hang on.
alive.
There are objectively better, more talented running backs that are older than him with worse contract situations, like Austin Eckler. Where next offseason in Dynasty, I'm taking Montgomery over Eckler quite easily. I'm taking Montgomery over Eckler, like, right now. And that's crazy with the fact that they have Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, I'm still taking Montgomery. So
It says Mondre. It doesn't say David Montgomery.
oh, crap. I'm still taking that deal. If it's Ramondre Stevenson, if you have to pay a
Yes.
second to get Ramondre, absolutely taking that deal.
What is he reading?
You should have interjected in the mic. That's funny.
I did.
Hey, we're now
said
nine.
I did.
We're now 9 subscribers from 5K,
we're so
baby.
close.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's going to be really nice when we have 4,999.
I know. Let's keep going.
Sergio
What's up, Sergio?
says, thoughts on Javonte for Spears, 24 second and 26 second. 26 second, throw it out the window. Like, it really doesn't mean anything at this point in time. If you're getting Spears in a second, I'm holding Javonte right now. I think Javonte is an intriguing guy. We've done a lot of blueprints right now for a lot of people that are looking to rebuild their teams or kind of on the fence about if they want to contend or rebuild. And many of them own Javonte Williams. Some I've told to sell him. Others I've told to hold him. It really just depends on the situation. With you only getting Spears in a second, I'll hold Javonte at that price. He's in his third year, going into his fourth year next season.
It's 2 seconds.
Sean Payton has had success with running backs in the past. From a fantasy perspective, I like him. So, yeah, hold him there.
Okay.
Shmoney Blue says, when healthy, my QBs are A-Rich and Herbert, looking like he'll get the 101 in this rookie draft, or I'll get the 101. Would you offer that pick, Purdy and Brian Robinson, for Jamar Chase? Nope. That 101, again, likely Caleb Williams. He is by default automatically going to be very closely valued to Jamar Chase
yeah.
right off the bat. If you have to give up Brock Purdy on top of that, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that. Mystic Flame says 12-team Superflex, start 11 tight end, 1.5. Sold DJ Moore for Dotson and 24 first. Good job. I would have taken the 24 first straight up. I'm a big fan of that. There's a lot of question marks surrounding DJ Moore and the Bears situation as a whole next season. They obviously will likely draft a quarterback,
Right.
most likely.
Yes.
But are they going to draft a receiver? Are they going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. with their second or third overall pick after getting Caleb Williams or Drake May or whoever they want to get? Are they going to get Igbuka? Like, I think it would be really hard for them to turn down that opportunity, even though DJ Moore is such a good wide receiver. I mean, imagine that duo. That could hurt him from a fantasy perspective.
Yep. Seth Young says, trying to sell high on A-Chain on a rebuilding team. What solid and reasonable haul should I sell for? Well, I think Devon A-Chain on Keep Trade Cut right now is like the RB4. Not even kidding.
Crazy.
So, like, I'm not selling him for
We had
anything.
some people
but,
that unsubscribed because of our take on A-Chain. So,
oh, that's funny.
oh, we lost a subscriber. Speaking
No.
of that. We're
Okay,
at
wait a minute.
4,990.
Somebody's trolling us.
Mhm.
A-Chain.
How much you want to bet is Ryan?
Ryan. A-Chain's the RB6 right now. A-Chain's value
It
adjacent
isn't
players.
me, is it?
Brees Hall. Like, if you can get Brees Hall, I'm taking Brees Hall. If you can get ETN, I'm taking ETN. If you can get Kenneth Walker, I think it's kind of a wash right now. Jonathan Taylor, I'm taking Taylor. Saquon Barkley, and that's just talking running backs.
Yep.
When you're talking value adjacent to A-Chain in all players, Stephon Diggs, Devonta Smith, I'm taking both those guys. Plus, there are guys way below him that I would take. So
Yeah.
aim high. A-Chain is worth a lot right now. If you're going to sell A-Chain, make sure you're getting a good return because he's worth a lot in Dynasty leagues. Matthew says, chances Fields still under center next year. Pretty sure Caleb won't go back to UFCs. The Bears have wanted to. Let him know they're grabbing Marvin Harrison Jr. as well. Yeah, chances, I don't know. I would not put it past the Bears to keep to keep Justin Fields there next year because they did this year, right? I mean, I don't know. I also think that if Caleb Williams sees that organization up front, he's going to be like, I'll go back and make millions through NIL at USC.
In all seriousness, there have been just whispers right now. This is, 6 weeks into 2023. There's a lot that has yet to be seen with Fields, but there have been whispers of Fields going to Atlanta next offseason. I think that would really benefit both sides, where Fields is better than Desmond Ridder. He is, and I think he would really thrive in that system where they're not going to ask too much of him, and it's a better opportunity overall for him. And I would be okay with that landing spot. It would benefit him. It would benefit the Bears. They'd probably get some decent draft capital out of it. And, at this point, Fields just seems to not be the guy on a roster that is so depleted and so bad pretty much everywhere except for DJ Moore. So
yes.
I think that's interesting to keep an eye on.
8 more subscribers, ladies and gentlemen, until 5K. Let's get there.
We have 88 watching.
That's
right
awesome.
Now. Yeah.
We love you guys. Make sure you drop a like in. Like I said, if you haven't subscribed, drop your questions too. We want to be able to help you guys out with anything you need.
Like and subscribe.
Our guy Jimbo Slice says, if you are a win now team, do you typically try to avoid trading with competing teams? That is a very, very, very good question.
We've both done it before.
Yes.
When it's mutually beneficial, when you say, hey, I have a ton of running backs, I can't start one of them, and he has a ton of wide receivers, and he can start one or two of them. Do a little flippage and just go for it, man.
Yeah.
May the best man win. May the best, luckiest guy win. I will say that when I am going and I'm looking for trades, it rarely incentivizes contenders to trade with other contenders. Not only incentivizes, but like just when is it able to occur? That's probably the only scenario where I could see it occurring, because you're not trading them a pick, you're not trading them another contending asset unless you're getting one better in return. It's tough to do that. Every time I'm going and looking to make trades as a contender, I'm looking at the bottom 6 teams.
Yeah,
I almost never make offers unless it's like
now. If you're getting a crazy value win from one of your other contenders, I'm considering that. It has to be crazy though. And I'm definitely not going to be losing in production if I'm making a trade with another contender.
Yep.
That's a great question though. Good question, Jimbo. Appreciate you, my friend. We do have a super chat. Our guy Blind is here. Blind, it is good to see you, my friend.
Hey,
as you can see, Blind, we are on our 5,000 subscriber live stream, and we are currently 7 subscribers away. It's going to be awesome. We need to have some kind
He
of
can't see because he's blind.
That's true. We need to have some kind of celebration music or something. Yo, what's up? Rebuilder.
Please?
Just traded Hurts Swift in 2 seconds for AR, Olave, 24 first, and a third. What are your thoughts? That's a really... And you still have Herbert. That's a... Ooh, I could see why you want to make that trade now.
Dang.
This is... Okay, so...
The gap, what's the gap between AR and Hurts? We already said a couple firsts at least
Probably
on top
a
of
first.
Mahomes. Probably a first. So say AR and a first, taking Olave over Swift.
And then
2
seconds.
The 2 seconds, I think in a deal of that caliber, it's a wash. The 2 seconds are.
That's a really interesting trade, man.
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that too.
Here's what I'll say for your future. If you're in multiple leagues and you're looking to get AR in some other leagues, I think it was smart that you tried to bite on Anthony Richardson right now. But what I would say is as the season progresses, as the offseason comes, and you become more and more removed from Anthony Richardson's performance, I think there's a chance he's going to become less and less valuable, especially with these new quarterback prospects coming into the NFL. So you may even be able to get Anthony Richardson at a cheaper discount in a few months even. So keep sending out feelers, but try to make those deals at different times as well for Anthony Richardson. But good deal there. I still like it.
Blind, thanks for joining, my friend. Good to have you on. We love your questions. We love hanging out with you, man. Thanks for your question. Guys, like I said, if you haven't already, we are 7 people away, and I know there are more than 7 people watching. So if you have not subscribed, let's get there. Let's have our celebration moment. But also drop your questions so we can answer those. And if you drop a super chat again, you jump to the front of the line, we answer your questions. So jumping back up to the top here.
Miles says ETN or A-Chain and Pittman for a contender. For a contender, I mean, you got to take the guy that's playing right now and scoring points. in ETN, I guess, but I may still even take A-Chain and Pittman.
Yeah.
Because if you have A-Chain, you can get more.
Yeah.
You literally
yes, you can.
He's a running back 4. That's a fact.
He is very valuable.
So
right now.
we'll take the A-Chain and Pittman side still, but if you're trying to move off A-Chain, which we understand is a contender, get more than Eckler. Bole me boy says, what can I give for Eckler picks wise? If not, I'd be willing to trade away Kendre Miller and some picks. If you're trading away Kendre Miller and some picks,
That's good.
that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, you like that?
Yep. Julian. Hi, Julian.
What's up, Julian?
10 teams, Superflex, tanking, did 2 trades, Young and a 24 third, for Kyler, a 25 second, and Deontay. Deontay for Jacoby. Thoughts? I think it's a lateral move between Deontay Johnson and Jacoby Myers. Who's scoring points right now? Jacoby Myers. So
right.
I think that's fine. Bryce Young in a third for Kyler in a second. Obviously taking Kyler over Bryce Young because he has a contract. I definitely like that for sure.
Our subscriber count is going. We are four subscribers away.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Do we have a song ready?
Keep going.
I don't know. I have to send one to Sam. It's probably too late, but it's all right. Where are we at?
Celebrate song.
We're at John
I don't want
John.
to get copyright striked.
That's
at
true.
5K.
That's true. So I'll just sing
right.
something. I'll sing an opera song. John says 1-5, 10 team Superflex trying to rebuild. You need players to target. For your QB, you've got AR, Fields, Mac Jones, and Goff. Wow. Wide receiver, you got Lockett, Hollywood, Downs, and Lamb. Okay. Running backs, you got JT, McLaughlin, Mixon, Warren, Miller, double Warren. Tight end, Musgrave, Goddard, and Otten. Okay. So you're trying to rebuild, and you need players to target. Number 1, you're trading Justin Fields while you can. Number 2, you are trading Tyler Lockett. Who are you? Can you give me some targets while I get these guys listed off?
Yeah, I'll get you some targets while you're listing them off. He's 1-5 trying to get off. So tell
Correct.
Fields.
So Fields.
Okay.
So who are we targeting for Justin Fields?
Oh, this is a fun question.
This is a fun question.
Justin's Fields. Let's go get T. Higgins.
Yep, T. Higgins for Justin. That's a great one. And then Tyler Lockett. Who are we trading for Tyler Lockett? If you're rebuilding, you do not need Tyler Lockett, and he is going to decrease in value from now to the end of the offseason. A 24 second.
Yep.
I'm taking a 24 second for Lockett.
Any running backs we're moving off of? We're moving off of Warren and Mixon.
Yeah.
Let's.
Mixon.
Let me plug in Warren and Mixon here. Mixon's lost value, but it's really understandable because he is. I mean, he could be out of the league next year.
That's true.
If you give up Warren and Mixon straight up, I would be looking for a guy like Zay Flowers. I'd be looking for a buy low candidate like Drake London, TJ Hawkinson. Those are some of the guys that are currently market value-wise value equivalent. And that's going to be, honestly, that's thanks to Jaylen Warren there. If you're packaging those guys together, a lot of people in Dynasty are high on Jaylen Warren because he's been outplaying Najee Harris, when in reality it's just horrible in Pittsburgh. And yeah, Jaylen Warren's been okay, but what long-term Dynasty value does he offer with the fact that he's undrafted? So,
yeah. All right, jumping up to our guy Andrew here. Andrew with your super chat. We appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for joining us. And we are still 4 subscribers away. How do we feel about trading Josh Allen for Kyler Murray, 24 and 25 mid-late first, 24 and 25 mid-late second, rebuilding team, favorite for the 102 or 101. So you're rebuilding, getting Kyler and 2 firsts and 2 second for Josh Allen. And you're going to get Caleb Williams. Nathan, what do you think of this? I think it's close. I think it's close.
So this is a very defining time in Dynasty because it's funny when I think Kyler Murray right now, I'm thinking like 4th, 5th round because that's where he was going all offseason. That's no longer his value.
Right.
And I think deals like this are going to dictate what Kyler Murray's value is.
Yep.
And this is why I think it's an okay deal, because the second Kyler Murray steps on the field, you're already going to be positive on this deal. You're already going to be market value positive because of his contract. Again, I don't care if he's on the Cardinals long term. I care about his contract, and I care about the fact that he scores fantasy points when he plays.
Yeah.
And he is going to play probably next week or in 2 weeks.
It's going to be soon.
He's not playing this week. They already said that.
No, I know it might be more than 2, but
limited practice.
Yeah, it might be more than 2 weeks, but still, Kyler Murray is one of the most hated and most underrated players in the NFL. he legitimately makes a world of a difference for an NFL team,
Yeah.
and you're seeing that play out right now with the Cardinals. He is not only that, regardless of if you think he's a good NFL QB.
It's like attitude stuff too, which I
It's
just think
stupid.
I think it's really dumb. It's like the same stuff that happened to Stroud, but
Best
Kyler
scores.
Murray is a seasoned veteran. So
and with it doesn't really matter with Kyler Murray how good he is on an NFL field as long as he's scoring fantasy points. I mean, it does matter because you have long-term value insulation, things like that. Andrew, I think we're going to be okay with this. This is gutsy, and a lot of people
It is
disagree
very
with this.
gutsy.
And you have to realize that you're trading away a top 5 player in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Kyler is also capable of scoring 20 or more points a game, and he's done it. So I think as a rebuild, you want to get more assets. You're also going to give away some points this year, which will give you probably the 101 you're going to replace with Caleb Williams. That's why we're comfortable with that. That's a great question, and it's a great example of...
I'll tell you what, though, man, a guy that has the same fantasy upside and has a contract of the caliber of Josh Allen, who, I mean, it's debatably going to slide into the early second round in Dynasty startups next year. If you're getting 2 firsts on top of that, I mean, that's textbook rebuild.
It is textbook rebuild.
So I'm fine with it.
It's just you seeing through the crap with Kyler Murray and trading for a very talented
Yes.
fantasy asset.
Yeah.
So, all right, hey, if you haven't subscribed, we got 4 more. You can be
4.
one of
4.
the last 4 subscribers to 5,000.
Do
it. Super chats jump the line. We're gonna keep working our way down.
Yes. Oh, man.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
trying to help you out.
over.
Cats
I
took
think.
over.
Start of the year as a 1-year punt team, hit on players like Puka, Nico, Laporta, my gosh, and 6th in max PF with 7 firsts in the next 2
Whoa.
years. Should I make a run for this year or just ride it out? Ride it out, my man. Ride it out. Let's see what you can get for those firsts once the offseason comes. You're 6 right now. If you make the playoffs, you have a chance at winning
And
your
that's
league.
fine.
Don't move your first right now. It's a bad time to move your first when you're a middle of the pack team. Grimy3 says, would you hold T. Higgins and Michael Mayer or take a 25 first and a 26 first? I'm holding Higgins and
I'm gonna
Michael Mayer
hold
right now.
Higgins and Mayer.
Higgins for us, and this is, I love this, man. I love this. We're just demonstrating the fact that we don't hate the player, we hate the price. And T. Higgins was one of our biggest. We had 3 massive takes in Dynasty this year. It was Fields, Higgins, and Pollard. One is TBD. The other 2 are looking amazing right now, and that's Fields and Higgins. Yeah, we were right about Higgins, and he's lost significant value in Dynasty.
He's plummeted in value. You absolutely should have sold him.
He either gets tagged next year. I have a hard time believing he's going to play on the tag, or he gets signed to a mega deal in Cincinnati, or he gets signed to a mega deal elsewhere. Regardless, that's going to extend his dynasty value. That's going to extend his value insulation, and he'll go right back up to where he was. He will. So we're very big into buying T. Higgins right now. So
T. Higgins is
hold him.
the wide receiver 20 right now in keep trade cut. He is now a 5th round dynasty selection.
I'll take him there all
day, baby. That's a buy low. We love buy lows. And we got a super chat from our friend Chris B. Chicken. I think that's how you say Chris. I know your name is Chris, so we appreciate you, Chris, and thank you for your super chat. Thanks for supporting the channel.
Yes.
And thank you all for subscribing and getting us to 5K.
Thank you.
10-team standard super flex
96
with an IDP. Okay, so 10-team super flex IDP. 3-3 with 224 firsts. You've got Fields, Goff, Lawrence, Pollard, Kyron, Rashad White, Lamb, London, Marquise Brown, Flowers, Downs, Myers, Kelsey. Are you a contending team or are you a rebuild team? My friend, to me, it looks like you... Oh, actually, I could see both here.
Man.
You got a good roster, though. You've got good value.
Let's do this right off the bat. Let's move off Justin Fields.
Yep, let's move off Justin. Look, if you can move off Justin Fields for contending pieces, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, guys like that, you're a contender. That answers your question.
Yeah.
In terms of which way should you lean if you were to stick with this roster?
Why not go for the win this year while still holding your 24 first? You have a couple guys that you could move off of. Again, Fields will get you a lot of real nice point scores that could help you make a run this season while still maintaining the value insulation of your team with those picks and with those young guys like Flowers, like Marquise Brown, like Josh Downs. You have Kelsey. At this point, I'm not selling Kelsey really for anything. If you own him in Dynasty, don't sell him right now. Like, people are going to try to buy low on him as a contender because he's 33 years old. And if you own him, he's scoring too many points. Like, just hold him and try to go for it. With Kyron Williams, we don't love Kyron Williams in Dynasty. We don't think he's a must-sell at this moment right now. We do the second the season ends.
Yes.
So I'm fine with you owning him. You have Pollard. Pollard's another guy. Get rid of him the second the season ends. But there's none of these guys that I'm really moving off.
So we're telling him to go for it.
Yeah, why not?
Go for
Why
it, man.
not? And use Fields to go for it.
And
don't
use Fields to
don't
go
use
for
your
it.
picks.
Because you've got Goff and T-Law. You've got two good quarterbacks in Superflex.
One away.
One away.
We are one subscriber away, everybody.
Who's going to be that 5,000th?
Let's go to Jeremy.
5,000.
Jeremy with a super chat
probably
right
be
at 5K. Joe who?
If it's Joe, I'm going to lose my mind.
Let's go to Jeremy. Jeremy, we appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for joining the show, and thanks for your support of the channel. You traded Jalen Warren and Cortland Sutton for Nico Collins. Thoughts? Totally fine with this trade.
Yep.
Totally fine. You're buying into Nico Collins, a guy who has been the wide receiver 1 in Houston, playing with a quarterback who is producing as a quarterback 1. So I'm fine trading a guy who's number 1 splitting carries right now. Did we do it?
5,001.
Dude.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. It's 1 year, pretty much 1 year since we started the channel. So, guys, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for all your support. We can't do it without you.
Oh,
Keep dropping your questions.
5,002.
Let's go. We're past it now. It's old news. Yeah, we're fine with this trade, Jeremy. With Jalen Warren, like I said, I think his ceiling's going to be capped as long as Canada is going to be there. I think that Kenny Pickett is not helping that offense. And Cortland Sutton is kind of a sell high right now. Nico Collins is a young, productive wide receiver. So, yeah, we're totally cool with this trade. I think you did. I think you did good value-wise. I think it's good for a contending. And I think you just nailed it. So, very good, Jeremy. Thank you for your super chat, and thanks for your support. We appreciate you.
Easy money Sicilian.
What's up, my man? Good to see you. Thanks for your support. Appreciate it.
He says 2-4 right now in a rebuild. He traded Bijan for Alvin Kamara, a 24 early first and 25 early first. As of right now, win or loss. That 30 ball from Alvin Kamara last night was lovely. So for a first round Dynasty startup pick, who will be that next year as well, I am completely fine with this. I really am. I have no issue with this whatsoever. You're 2-4. The chances of you getting the first overall pick in your 2024 rookie draft are very low. And we know that the difference between the 101 and the 102, just like the NFL draft, I mean, the value is dang near cut in half. It's crazy. So I have no issue with this. Bijan's a stud. Bijan is really the only guy I'm 100% confident in as a dynasty value at the running back position for the next 3 to 4 years.
Yes, 100%.
So I like that.
Yeah, great trade, our guy, Easy Money Sicilian. We appreciate you, my friend. Thank you again for your super chat. And you guys are dropping congrats. We freaking appreciate you. This is awesome. I'm so glad we were live.
It's shooting.
I know.
Up,
now we're flying past it.
We got a lot of
hey,
viewers.
if you guys play Dynasty, you haven't subscribed, that you have a good reason to now. We're Dynasty junkies. We do redraft content because
we're doing a redraft live stream tonight too. So if you guys have some
we're staying on here and
questions,
answering Dynasty questions.
you can move over later tonight.
Yeah. Our guy AN, thank you so much for your super chat. You're 4-2. You're in a 10-team PPR Superflex League. You're second to last in Max PF. Herbert, Stroud, Murray, Danny Dimes. Great quarterbacks there. Wow.
Yeah.
JT, Bijan, CD, Olave, Hollywood, Nico, Pickens. Contend. Whew.
Oh, you're 4-2, man. You're already
but he's
contending.
second to last in Max PF, so he could be a pretender.
Well,
that's a good stat to look at.
Yes. Let's look at why.
Okay.
Why has that been happening? Kyler Murray has not been playing. Daniel Jones has been horrible. Herbert's actually been
So
fine.
Herbert and Stroud have been his starters.
JT has not been playing.
True.
Olave has been down.
This is a contending team.
You're absolutely contending team. Yeah,
This
because
is a contending team.
Olave is going to be on the rise, JT's on the rise, Murray's about to play. Daniel Jones, I think, is going to come back from this injury, and I think overall the team is going to be better, and Saquon being back is really going to help. I think people really underestimated how much Saquon Barkley being out hurt Daniel Jones' production, and when they're on the field together, I think they're really going to help each other, and honestly, that'll protect Jones a little bit more from being sacked 10,000 times a game.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go contend here. Are there any moves you can make? I think you can move off a quarterback here. I think you have it's tough. I don't like selling any of those quarterbacks right now, though. So maybe not. Right? I mean, who do you sell there? Like Herbert, Stroud, Murray, and Danny Dimes. Like Danny Dimes and Murray would be sell lows, essentially.
Look, the only guy I'd be looking to sell in that situation is if and when Daniel Jones starts producing again, because he has such a nice floor because of his rushing upside. It's obviously, his floor when Saquon Barkley isn't playing is horrible. But Jones is the only guy I'm looking to sell, and he's not a sell right now. You have 4 QBs, 4 very capable QBs, and Jones is the worst of those. and he's going to be the weak link from a dynasty value perspective for your team for the foreseeable future. So let's get him off your roster.
Yeah.
Get another contending piece to bolster running back or wide receiver.
And we appreciate your super chat, and we appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for joining us and being a part of our 5K live stream. Llama Guy. What's up, Llama Guy? Llama is spelled with 2 L's in case you didn't know that. What God's name
question.
do I do with Calvin Ridley? Good question. And what should the buying price be for Tyjae Spears? Josh Downs plus? No, not Josh Downs plus, because I like Josh Downs, and I think I'm taking him over Tyjae, honestly. What do you think?
No, I absolutely
So with Calvin Ridley, let's answer that question. And the buying price for Tyjae is probably going to be, I wouldn't pay 2 seconds for Tyjae yet.
No, I would not.
A second maybe, or value equivalent of that?
Nope.
I would pay a second. I can get why people would want to pay a second for Tyjae. But he's not producing a whole lot from a fantasy perspective. You see the usage, and a lot of people are like, "That's attractive." Yeah, but look at his actual efficiency.
My concern is how many running backs Tennessee has been drafting to back up Derrick Henry for the last 3 to 4 years. And you saw Hassan Haskins before Tyjae Spears. You saw Tyjae Spears this season with the 3rd-round pick. Granted, his draft capital is okay. He's a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah.
But does he still have limitations as a running back in the NFL? I would say yeah. And I think if the opportunity presents itself for Tennessee, who is very dependent on their run game, and Derrick Henry's going to be out the door next season, I mean, there's a chance they take a shot on another running back in the 2nd or 3rd round next year. And at that point, what's Tyjae's ceiling? I have a lot of questions about Tyjae. It's sad because I love Tyjae Spears as a prospect. I loved him last year.
What if they trade Henry this year?
You think they'll trade him this year?
I mean, that's why I think he's worth maybe sending a second for sometimes. Where's Stormy's caller? I think it's worth trading a second for sometimes because if they trade Derrick Henry, then he's worth a lot more. Regardless, let's keep going on the first part of the question. What should he do with Calvin Ridley? I personally,
you're stuck.
I think you're stuck with him right now.
Yeah.
I think you have to hold Calvin Ridley in Dynasty right now.
We are, for the sake of the people who heavily invested in Calvin Ridley in Dynasty and fantasy this season, we are very hopeful that he starts producing consistently the second half of the season so you can get some nice market value for him to either trade off of him or whatever. But this is exactly why we were not very high on Calvin Ridley going into this year. We knew he was going to start slow. We knew he wouldn't be consistent. And when you watch him play, you're like, oh my gosh,
though.
His talent, it's there.
It's crazy.
It's there. But there's just small things
so
like there's small things like he's a little bit rusty. There's a couple, toe tap things where he's literally an inch or two off. And yeah, they're tough catches, but he's been out of the league for 2 years, man. That's what happens. And he doesn't have the chemistry with Lawrence that Christian Kirk has. So.
Yeah. Thank you again, Llama Guy. Andrew Perez. Appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you for another super chat, my friend.
Thank you.
What are we doing with QJ? This is a really good question, guys. If you have Quentin Johnson at all in Dynasty, you need to listen up.
Yeah.
It's looking rough. It does look rough. But here's the problem. Right now, the public perception of Quentin Johnson is horrible. You have fantasy talking heads on Twitter going and saying that Quentin Johnson is already a total bust. Completely.
Yep.
So
it was supposed to look rough.
I can't think of one good reason why you would sell right now. And here's my reasoning behind that. Quentin Johnson, even if he's a bust, he's going to flash at least one time. How many times do you have a first-round wide receiver that never, ever, not once flashes in a game, right?
Yeah.
So at the very, very worst, if Quentin Johnson is a bust and you have to get out on Quentin Johnson, don't do it now. The public perception of QJ is at its all-time low right now. It's just the worst time to sell Quentin Johnson. And honestly, I don't think you're getting anything near what his ceiling is. Is Quentin Johnson going to pan out? I don't know. Has it looked bad? Yes. Are there also some good signs? I think so. I think some of the film from Quentin Johnson's game this past week was actually fairly promising.
Yep.
He's just not getting the targets of the usage yet. And I think people really expected that once they saw Mike Williams go down. So,
and let's be honest, man, once Staley's out of there, which, maybe he'll be there for the next 10 years, but I would assume he's out there after this season.
Yeah.
I think that'll help everyone there, and hopefully it does with Quentin Johnson's development as well.
So you can't sell right now.
No.
Everybody in Dynasty, if you have Quentin Johnson, you are not selling right now. You're going to wait until he flashes. And then if you do not believe in Quentin Johnson, which at that time will have better advanced efficiency metrics to really identify what he's really going to be as an NFL receiver, then you can sell.
I'm looking at his keep trade cut value equivalents right now, and it's Dameon Pierce, a 4th-round running back who's been horribly inefficient. Zach Charbonnet, no thank you. you. Dallas Goedert, no thanks. Derrick Henry, nah. And I think I will say this is a good lesson looking at prospects in the future that go this high in the NFL draft that are labeled as more project type wide receivers who may not produce right off the bat. Let's anticipate this going into next draft classes where maybe we shouldn't value guys like QJ as high as we were going into this season, knowing that he was going to produce less than any of the other guys that went in the first round. Like all of us knew that going into this season. So maybe he should have gone a little bit lower than where he was. So that you might see a market value adjustment with receivers with that pedigree, with that profile over the next few years.
We got our next super chat here is from Jimbo Slice, who is a new subscriber. Jimbo, my friend, welcome to the community. We appreciate the heck out of you, and thanks for your question. Thanks for your super chat.
And sorry you live in Canada.
And sorry you live in Canada. Apparently that's what Sam says. I'll let you take this one.
He says, new sub here.
What's up?
Yeah, thanks, man. 12-team super flex tight end premium, second place. Love it.
Nice.
Murray, Love, and Carr. JT, Moss, Mostert. Well, that's why you're in second place.
Yep.
Kyron, Chase, Lamb, Ayuk, Kirk, Thielen, Hunter Henry, I assume, and Tyler Higbee.
Yes.
3:24 seconds, 2:25 firsts. Advice.
Okay.
I like that for the first 6 weeks of the season, you had the Moss handcuff with JT. That was smart of you. That was good of you.
Well done.
Let's get Moss off your hands now.
Yep.
That's the first thing that I'm seeing there. Mostert, there is nothing. Obviously, there's no one outside of another contender that's going to pay for Raheem Mostert, and you're in second place. You're not giving up Mostert. Let's ride him out, man. Let's keep taking those points while they're available for you. Love that you have JT coming in. That's a huge boost to your contention. Kyron Williams, out with the injury. That sucks. He should be back by week 10. Jamar Chase on the rise. CeeDee Lamb on the rise. Brandon Ayuk on the rise with CMC potentially being out for some time and Debo being banged up. Christian Kirk, love it. And then you got Adam Thielen. Am I moving off any of these guys at the moment? You have Kyler Murray coming in. I mean, how are you in second place with Jordan Love and Derek Carr? Like, you're going to get Kyler Murray coming in very soon. I think you have too many guys that haven't played for the first couple of weeks that are coming in now at the most opportune time, where you've got to just ride with your roster.
Like Broncos country.
Like, you don't even have to. Are there any moves outside of Moss that you would heavily recommend he do?
I think he's got a roster that this year he hit on multiple players. He's fit to contend. I like that roster. If I have Thielen, I'm holding. If I have Mostert, I'm holding. If I have Kyron, I'm holding. If I have JT, I'm holding. Those quarterbacks, every single one of them, you have to hold right now.
Yep. Now, I will say, how much will those seconds really benefit you next year? I mean, they're kind of crapshoots anyways. They do hold value for a lot of rebuilds. They do. So if you compare Moss with a couple of seconds and see if you can't get a little safer at running back for the rest of the year, try to get a buy low running back.
Yeah.
Some of the targets here, we're still thinking, I mean, you could try for Moss and maybe even a third and get like James Conner straight up, because James Conner's on IR right now. He's a guy that I'm totally wanting.
Yes.
Totally wanting for the second half of the season, especially once Kyler starts playing.
Yes.
I really like that situation there. That's a target that you could look for. At tight end, it's such a crapshoot. I think, honestly, I'm okay with Tyler Higbee there. If you wanted to upgrade maybe a little bit and get some more consistent target volume, I do think Goddard is a good value right now. Again, thinking Moss in a second. Like, if you're giving up Moss in a second, I'm fine with him going to get Goddard. I mean, Goddard's shown his ceiling, his capability. Yeah, it's a dumpster fire at tight end. Goddard's worth getting at that price.
Jimbo Slice, we appreciate you, my friend. Let us know if you got any more questions. But thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
We did get a super chat from our guy Wep on X. We appreciate you too, my friend. If you got a question, make us earn the $1. We appreciate that. Guys, we have been doing super chats for about 20 minutes now, so we're going to jump back up to the front of the line here, way up. But if you want to jump in front and get your question answered right now, again, super chats are going to take priority. We're going to take the most time, and we're going to jump up to those first. But right now, we're going to jump back and try to answer everybody's question who's been waiting in line. Appreciate all you guys. Make sure you subscribe. If you haven't, we hit 5K today. We really appreciate you joining us. If you play Dynasty Fantasy Football, we're Dynasty junkies. We're just like you. We are here to help you guys answer questions, figure out what to do with your teams. Dynasty, it's best played when you're just bouncing ideas off of other people. That's what this is for. So we appreciate you guys joining us. And like I said, make sure you subscribe and drop a like if you haven't. Let's move back up here. Where are we at?
George.
George says, I'm 6-0. My team is Tua, CMC, Kenneth Walker, Kupp, Olave, Goddard, and Flex James Cook. Should I trade Cook for Waddle? Bro. Holy crap, yes.
What?
If you're trading James Cook and you're getting Jalen Waddle straight up, yes. Not close. Yeah. Take it. Do it. Even if it's redraft, I'm absolutely doing that. Should you drop Zach Evans for Henderson? Sure. Why not? Both of those guys are barely rosterable anyways. Graham says, 16-team Superflex. I got Herbert, Deshaun Watson, and Geno. Should I move Watson for picks or players or just hold him? I'm 5-1 and in contention. What should I look to get back?
Good question.
Deshaun Watson, if you're stuck with Deshaun Watson right now, he's a hold, man. He has too good of a contract. He's stuck with the Browns long term, and he is valued way too low at the moment. I mean, you saw his keep trade cut graph. It is in line with James Cook right now.
Yeah.
That is really, 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 really bad. Holding Deshaun Watson right now, not moving. Especially in a 16-team Superflex, you have Herbert, Deshaun, and Geno. How'd you do that, man? Yeah. Nice job. That's got to be the best quarterback room in the league.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, Chef says I traded A-Rich for Burrow.
Nice.
Love it, man.
Love that
Absolutely
trade.
Love it. Sebastian says, total rebuild team. I trade away Bijan and Pickens, 24 third. I got Josh Downs, late 24 first, a 25 first, a 26 first, Miles Sanders, a 24 second. Did I come out on top? Well, if I'm looking to trade away Bijan, I'm looking to get 3 firsts. I think that's okay. What I would have done is 26 first is really, really out there. It's pretty far away. So if you could have gotten a first in 25, I would have recommended that because I like the value of 24 first at this point in time. But overall, I mean, if you're looking to trade away Bijan, that's what I'm looking for. So.
All right, let's jump up to our guy, Zilke. Zilke, what's up, man? Thanks for your super chat. Thanks for your support. We appreciate you a ton. Let's read your super chat. As terrible as Judy is, you want Judy. Okay, wow. Move DJ Moore for him? Plus. Oh. Superflex. So wide receivers Olave, DJ Moore, JSN, Puka, Hyatt, Mingo, Mechie, Reed, 4 and 2 Pretender. I have 4 24 first. I'm not doing this.
Nope.
I'd much rather get another 24 first for DJ Moore. I'd much rather target somebody that I know is not going to lose value. Jerry Jeudy. Now the one appeal to Jerry Jeudy and trading for Jerry Jeudy in Dynasty right now
is that he's going to go up in value in a couple weeks
if he gets traded.
Yep.
If and when.
Yep.
I did hear that the Broncos situation is the Broncos reach out to the Colts and not the other way. So who knows if that will actually materialize. That being said, if he does get traded, Jerry Jeudy jumps up a lot in Dynasty value.
I think it's a tough situation with Jeudy, and it honestly might. There is a possibility that he stays in Denver for the rest of the year because I do believe they get a compensatory pick if they lose him in free agency as a first-round pick. And a compensatory pick, we all know, is a third-round pick. So the only way I could see the Broncos biting on moving off Jeudy by the trade deadline is if they got something better than a compensatory third.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And if the Colts give up more than a compensatory third, I don't want Jeudy.
Right, exactly.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would say we're holding DJ Moore and trying to aim higher than Jeudy right now. Even if you're getting like Jeudy plus, like that's just Judy's not somebody we love trading for. We just did a bust video yesterday, and we really have Jerry Jeudy as a dynasty.
We have him as a bust.
So we're trying to avoid him if we can. But again, thanks for your super chat. Thanks for your questions, Zilke. We appreciate you, my friend. Let us know if you got anything else. Are we at Jets Nation?
Yes, sir.
I've got an important interjection. We're at 69 likes. Nice.
That is an
Thank
important
you. Wow,
interjection.
I missed that.
Get that number up, though.
Yeah.
We got 105 watching.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go.
So.
Like and subscribe.
Exactly. Jet Nation says holding Jeudy and Javonte as a tanking team.
Holding Jeudy until if and when he's traded within the next couple weeks.
And Javonte probably would like to shed some non-essential pieces to lock up a top 2 spot. You're 1 and 5. Okay, so I see you're really trying to tank. Hurts, Hall, JSN, Hawk, Purdy, 224 first, in 3 seconds is my primary assets. I'm not sure those guys are going to score you enough points to where it would be worth moving off of them like right now. Like they're not. The Judy's not producing. So Javonte also, if Javonte starts producing, then you've got a young running back for your rebuild. I would say no. Mike says 12-team start 11 contender QBs are Herbert, Burrow, and Kyler. So trade Kyler for a mid-24 first and the 24-201. We're going to take Kyler there pretty easily.
Yep.
Also trade late second for Thielen. Yes, we're taking Thielen there for sure.
If you can get Thielen for a straight up second, then do it.
Already have 24 first as a contender. My gosh. Yeah, no, definitely keep Kyler. Definitely keep, or definitely trade for Thielen. Like, keep all those first if you can contend and keep all those first. If you are really gonna like contend for the league and you have 4 firsts, good luck to the rest of your league for the next however many years.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you drop all your questions. We are way, 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 way up the line right now, so super chats are going to jump to the front. We're going to skip ahead to those, but right now we're working our way down. Nicholas, what's up, Nicholas? Actually, we already answered this one, actually.
Yes,
yeah, we
you're
did.
right. Paul says, asked about James Cook earlier, literally just traded him and a 24 third for a late 24 first. Well done. We will do that. Love it.
Yep.
The Lawn Beast. Just would like to get your thoughts on Anthony Richardson's future. Still think a top 10 QB in Dynasty.
Fringe.
Yes.
Fringe.
Our
yes.
thoughts.
Thoughts. We are depressed beyond knowing right now. We are sad. We are angry. We are having PTSD.
Dreaming about Andrew Luck every night.
Yep.
With Anthony Richardson's face.
But I am assuming you're asking for fantasy purposes and not as Colts fans. So, Anthony Richardson, great. I think he's a great prospect. I think he looked very, very good in the limited sample size we saw. And from a fantasy perspective, absolutely. Top 10, yeah, I think he's in that 8 to 12 range. So,
I will say from a injury-prone perspective, let's majorly pump the brakes there. We have absolutely no idea. People, I've heard some people say, "Oh, he's already injury-prone." That's like that should be an oxymoron. That's like that should not be allowed. Already injury-prone. Injury-prone, literally by definition, means demonstrating a proneness, a trend over a significant amount of time of being injured. He's been playing. He played for 4 games, had 1 serious injury. 1. That ended his season as a rookie, as a 21-year-old. I think a lot of people underestimate how tough it is to go into the NFL as a 21-year-old. Even though you are huge and you're 250 pounds, built like a linebacker, sometimes it takes a while for you to get implemented to this new style of football where you're getting hit by a car every time you're tackled. And with Anthony Richardson, I think long term, we've seen quarterbacks get injured early in their career and have success. Deshaun Watson, his rookie season, tore his ACL.
I want to jump down
Joe
here.
Burrow tore his
Let's
ACL.
put this on the screen, Sam. Injured in every single NFL start. Incorrect. He has not been injured in every NFL start.
No.
Because the first game, he literally just banged his knee against the turf, and they brought him out for 1 play.
1 play.
And then after the game, he was like,
time.
yeah, I'm fine. So the concussion, yes, and obviously the shoulder. But people act like people are legitimately saying this, and this is not true, actually.
I will say every single time I've heard people, I listen to a lot of podcasts, good podcasts, and every time they talk about Anthony Richardson, they say the same thing, that he missed 4 games.
He did not miss 4 games. He did not miss 4 games.
We've watched every minute of every
Now,
game.
obviously the injuries are concerning, and it's very concerning that he has a grade 3 AC joint sprain in his throwing shoulder. We are plenty concerned about his injuries, but he's not injury prone. And he did not get injured in every game. So I just wanted to clear that up.
I already know this is something we're going to be fighting about all offseason.
Yeah, and you're still saying it's true. Dude, I promise you, it's not true. He did not get injured. He literally hit his... everybody gets hurt during NFL games. There's a difference between being hurt and being injured. Okay? Yeah. He was not injured. He was not on the injury report from what happened there.
No.
He was not.
Well, you're knocking knees, too. Like, if anyone's ever knocked knees in a sports game, you know how painful that is for about 2.5 minutes, and then you're fine.
Again, he got hurt.
And maybe
it's completely different. He was not on the injury report for that. It was not something that was prohibiting him from playing. He just was pulled for 1 play because he was hurt on the ground.
Correct.
I bet this is a Bears fan.
Is it really?
Salty about Justin.
Oh, there we go. That makes sense.
That's just what I'm guessing.
He's just theorizing. All right, let's jump back up here. Where are we at?
Just like he's theorizing.
Yeah, so we're at the
Blue Star Lock. We love you, man, but we are going to fight for Anthony Richardson. We're Colts fans, so you got to expect that. We're not going to let that happen.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, though.
Same situation with Burrow and Deshaun. So IT Mathis says Kamara for Tank Dell. Depends on the situation of your team. I think in Dynasty long term, you're obviously taking Tank Dell.
Okay.
Tank Dell. But who would you take there? Just in a vacuum.
Just answer it because we got a super chat.
Sure, we'll take Tank Dell.
All right, let's jump up. It's from Weapon X. He's the one. Weapon X. That's what it means. He's the guy that gave the super chat earlier, and he dropped his question. Do you see it, Sam? All right, so you've got a 16-team Superflex. You're 0-5. You got Lamar, Judy, Pittman, Hockenson are your only pieces. You traded Diggs for Pittman and a 24 second and third. Just need advice on what to do. I have my first 2 seconds and 3 thirds.
3 seconds and 3 thirds.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
All right, so if you're 0-5, I'm holding all Lamar, Judy, Pittman, Hockenson. So I'm holding all those guys. You trade Diggs for Pittman in a second.
Short-term holding Judy.
Short-term, and when he gets traded, we are definitely trading him. You've got your first. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, this is rough. What do you do when you have teams this bad? No offense, because I have teams this bad.
Uh-huh.
And so do you. We have at least one each.
Yeah. Yep.
It happens.
Well, one of them, I just got a couple seconds for Thielen, so I'm feeling better.
So just you are just sending trades every freaking day in that league. Every day. And trying to maximize and get small value wins. So the more trades you make, the more opportunities you have to make value wins. Even if you are getting somebody who's worth a fourth and trading them for a third, that's win. You're going in the right direction now.
When you are that depleted, first guy I'm moving off of is TJ Hockenson.
Yeah.
Let tight end take care of itself once you're contending again in a couple years by just one thing that we would recommend with your 3 thirds, target tight ends in the 3rd round of rookie drafts, because chances are some of those guys are going to market value hit where they'll rapidly increase in value, and they'll probably amount to nothing like Greg Dulcich and Chico Okonkwo. But before that happens, you can just ship them off and get more market value for him. You want to get small value wins at the moment, and the only way I can see you doing that is flipping Hockenson for picks.
Yes.
Because we're not moving off of much of the wide receivers that you have.
He did say this is an orphan team, so we're not going to offend him. Good. We weren't trying to.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that
makes
makes
a tough
sense.
situation to be in, man.
Yeah.
It really, really is. And it may be slow going, but be patient. Be patient, and it'll probably help that it was an orphan. You'll probably feel more comfortable.
Weapon X, we appreciate you, and we appreciate your super chat, my friend. Thanks for dropping your question, and thanks for letting me know in the comments that we could jump down to that. All right, we're jumping back down up to the top here. Like I said, super chats are going to jump right to the front of the line, so we're going to keep rolling down here, but we are probably an hour behind on these, so we have a lot of questions right now.
Money Blue,
what's up, man?
I'm about to 13 burners for this to happen. He's talking about getting us to the 5,000 subs.
That was 20 subscribers ago.
I know.
Look at us.
Kevin says I'm also tanking and have Kyler and Deshaun as QBs.
That was probably
about an old question. Packers struggles. Dude, nice name. Says, when to trade draft picks in a rebuild.
Sorry.
I have a lot of teams with 4 to 6 firsts and the 101 locked up. Do you wait till the offseason, or if people are trading guys like JSN, Bryce, or other struggling youth? If JSN and Bryce are struggling now, they're going to be valued the same in the offseason. So almost never do we ever recommend that a rebuilding team trades their firsts in the middle of the season. It is a bad idea. There are too many benefits to holding your firsts until draft day of your league, and getting more proven assets with those picks. That would be the time that we'd look for you to trade off some of your firsts.
Yes.
But we usually like a 50-50 split. If you're one of those rebuilds that has 5-6 firsts, you're keeping half, trading away half.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Bryce says, in a 12-team 1 QB, you started to rebuild in the offseason. You got Fields, Walker, Gibbs, Warren, Sharps, JSN, Flowers, Pickens, Olave, London, Addison, Rice, Judy, and Pitts. Which guys do I keep or trade up with? Good question. You're definitely trading Fields on a rebuild, 100%. You don't want to ride that train into the ground. I would be looking maybe to trade Gibbs for a high price right now. He's still worth something, and after this week, he might be worth more. Flowers, Olave, Pickens. Addison, Rice, Judy. When Judy gets traded, I'd be trading him. Outside of that, I think you're keeping the rest of those guys there. Great question. Kyle says, I'm 4-2 and a running back away from competing. You had both Chubb and Dobbins. I'm very sorry. Coming off a rebuild with average starter age at 23.5. That's crazy that you know that. Ask for running back 1 is 2 first plus. Pay that price or hold and keep building through the draft for 2024. I mean, if you're talking about any RB1, it's like 2 firsts. I mean, there are not that many running backs right now in Dynasty that are worth more than 2 or more firsts.
Yeah.
Not. Like, hardly any.
Yep.
Bijan, Brees is probably worth 2 firsts. Etienne's probably worth 2 firsts. Maybe Jonathan Taylor. That's like it. So unless you're getting one of those guys, no. Do not do that. If you can get Bijan for 2 firsts, yeah, I like that. But outside of that, no. Our guy Kevin says, "Sup, fellas?" Sup, Kevin. So wondering why Lawrence's value is consistently falling so much on the keep trade cut.
It's a great question.
What has changed? Good question.
Great question. Nothing has changed. Nothing should have changed. Go get him at a discount. Same thing as Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Get him for cheap, man. It's absolutely ridiculous.
He's a buy right now.
Yeah.
That's great.
Jimbo.
Jimbo Slice. I think he did a super chat for that one.
Yes,
Indy Fam says, shout out, and from Indy, and we go to the same church. Love the Who is Indy Fam? If we know you, you should tell us who you are. Just offered.
Just going to remain anonymous.
I know, it's going to be anonymous.
5-1. Is he in one of our leagues?
I don't know. Just offered Smith and Collins and got Burrow in Dynasty because of the pod. 5-1 thanks to y'all. Dude, we appreciate it.
Wow. Nice.
Good job, too. 5-1? That's awesome.
Yep.
This is just going to be stewing
Yes.
in the back of your
and all my
mind.
who
for
is
rest
this?
of
The
this
mystery.
stream. Who is
But
it?
appreciate you. Into the fourth power says, what kind of QBs are you trading Justin Fields away to get in Superflex Dynasty? Good question. It seems to me like Fields is a solid sell to a rebuilder right now. He might not play much more this year. He's a solid sell to anybody.
Yep.
Who you selling Fields for? We already did this one.
Yeah, T. Higgins.
T. Higgins is a good one, but aim higher than that. Start higher than T. Higgins, please, and thank you.
Yeah.
Looking at keep trade cut, you got guys like, oh gosh, he really has fallen, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
People are really low, and I'm still fine selling Justin Fields low. Brock Purdy is up there, maybe. London, Jonathan Taylor.
I have a really hard time, as many Fields truthers as there are out there, once he moves on to a different team, I have a really hard time seeing him not going back up in value significantly.
Yeah.
So if you're in that situation, maybe there is some reason to hold him. But again, I mean, there's been some other questions in here where we said, hey, if you're a contender and you have Fields, get him off your roster now to get contending pieces. If that's the case, I would do that. But
yeah.
I mean, straight up, I personally would take T. Higgins over Fields. This is a market value enigma right now, man, because there's a lot of assumptions that we got to make with Justin Fields and with the guys that are currently being valued around him.
Lots of questions rolling in. Remember, if you get a super chat, you jump the line, we'll jump up to your question. Right now, we're going through the line. Marco says, I have a crappy team and had to sell Bijan for 2 firsts, 1 second, and a third. Please tell me I didn't mess up.
Depends on where those firsts are. Are they both 2024?
And are they early or mid?
Early mid.
But you could have messed up. But it's also possible you didn't mess up. So we don't know.
If another rebuild paid 24 firsts in the middle of the season that were going to be high 24 firsts, I think that's okay. If it was a couple 25s or 24, 26, 24, 25, I'd say I would have held Bijan there. I mean, he's a first-round startup pick.
Next question is rebuilding. Should I trade Drake London for JSN straight up?
Yeah,
sure.
I'd do that.
I mean, you can do that.
I would do that. Jason's in a better situation long term. He is.
Arctic Angel says, how are you guys only at 5K? Well, we did only start 1 year ago. That's probably the best answer for that.
Yep.
But we appreciate the compliment. Thank you so much. We got some super chats. We're going to jump down to our guy, Weapon X. What's up, Weapon X? Last question for me today. Love y'all. We love you too. Got offered Kamara, Ridley, and Thielen for Amon-Ra, and you're 4-2 and you're in third place, and we are not taking this deal.
No, sir.
Amon-Ra is producing at a really good level right
He's
now.
a studly man.
And he has a lot of value insulation with the age and the position. We're going to keep Amon-Ra there. I do see the appeal. Right now, people are going to be really, really high on Alvin Kamara. People are going to be really, really high on Calvin Ridley. Well, I don't even know. Maybe not even that, but Thielen for sure.
Yep.
You're talking about when you're looking at that package in 2 years, that's not going to be worth very much at all. Amon-Ra could still be worth the same amount he is now. And he's scoring you points. Even though you're contending, we like Amon-Ra there. But that's a great question, and congratulations on being in third. Keep trying to build up your roster.
Man.
Keep trying to build up your roster to add to those contending assets. But again, we're going to take the Amon-Ra side there. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you so much. Brad O. What's up, Brad O?
Brad O.
Thank you for your super chat.
Really appreciate it.
It's a big one. We appreciate it. 12 team per Superflex. I don't know.
Yep.
12. Yeah, whatever.
Yep.
Start 11. Tight end premium 1.5. You're starting 2 tight ends. Okay, this is interesting.
Oh.
So you have Fields, Bijan, Chubb, Spears, Chase, Olive, Flowers, Higgins, and oh my gosh, 11 24 firsts. The only first I don't have is projected to the 112. Thoughts on the
Dude.
All right, so we've seen this. We've seen this play out in a domain league one time. We had a guy get all 12 firsts.
How do you have that roster with those
But
picks?
his roster was terrible compared to yours. All right, so here's what you do, Brad. This is a great question, and wow, congratulations, you're going to win that league for. I hope that league lasts 10 years because you're going to win so much money.
I did not fake the jaw drop. I did not.
That's crazy.
That is
All
pretty
right, so
wild.
listen.
You made my jaw drop.
Brad, this is what you got to do. You're holding those. You do not trade any of those firsts. Tank this year. You're going to get picks 1 through 11.
They are going to be desperate.
And people
Oh
are
my
going to pay you
gosh.
so much. What you're going to do is you're going to trade. You're probably going to keep maybe the top 2 or 3 picks and take the 3 most valuable players and trade the rest of them and get complete hauls. The guy who did this in a domain league got all 20. He had a crappy team. He traded it for so much. His team's awesome now. You can trade 9 of those first and have the best team in the league, no question by far.
Okay.
You're keeping Bijan. You're keeping Chubb. Heck, trade Fields, please. But
Let's play a fun game here. Okay. So first of all, it's a big super chat. So let's spend some time here.
Yep.
Nick Chubb, we want you to hold Nick Chubb
yes.
all of next offseason until he starts playing again. Until the word comes out that he's balling, that he's looking great from this injury, because I assume with modern sports medicine that he's going to recover from this MCL tear very well, very quickly. With these 24 firsts, there are outside of Fields, there are really no guys that I'm looking to sell here on your roster.
Agree.
Let's walk through these 24 firsts and let's see which ones we want you to hold on to and that we want you to actually utilize as a pick to pick rookies, and which ones we would recommend that you move off of and when. First 2 picks, I want you taking the best quarterback and the best wide receiver, and I want you to take the second best quarterback with your third pick. The first 3 picks are yours.
These probably going to be
This is a
Caleb
super
Williams,
flex league.
Drake May,
And Marvin Harrison
Jr. And you're getting those 3 guys, and the rest of your picks, see ya. You can get hauls. You're going to get hauls.
Now, what I would recommend to you is, as best you can, there are some scenarios where you can move off 2 firsts to get 1 guy or a really good package. I have found, and I know you've found this as well, when you have these many firsts, it's more beneficial that you move off of the individual firsts separately in separate deals instead of packaging them all together to get 1 dominant player. Because at this point, I mean, you need quarterbacks. Again, you're going to take care of that with your first few picks. But once you get especially into the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 range, you saw what happened to those picks this year in 2023 and how much they lost value after the draft. Let's move off of those later picks before the NFL draft happens.
Yes.
But in the range of 4, 5, and 6, keep those for the post-NFL draft once your rookie draft starts in your league, and move off of those individual picks to get individual players or nice value insulated packages.
Brad, thank you for your super chat, my friend. Thank you for your support.
Yep.
Great job on your team. That's incredible. Review and react. What is up, my friend? Thank you for your super chat. Thanks for your support. We're glad
Thank
you
you
joined
very
us
much.
today.
Thank you.
You have a 10-team start 9 PPR league, and your quarterbacks are going to be Kyler and Howell. You've got and Daniel Jones. You've got London, JSN, Addison, Gabe Davis, Dubs, Dotson, and Puka. Nice. A-Chain, Ford, White, Moss, Sharp, Sanders. So clear you went no running back here.
He had a lot of 23 firsts.
Yep. And tight ends, Muth, Kincaid. You've got 6 24 firsts in 4 seconds. Jeez, you guys with these teams. Goodness sakes, man. Recommended moves.
Y'all just flexing on us, man.
Drink. Like, celebrate. I don't know. Like, congrats. Look, out of that roster, look, I'm fine selling Gabe Davis right now if people want to pay a lot for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine selling Dubs right now if people want to pay a lot for him. But Dubs is a good piece. I would hold him maybe. A-Chain you can get a haul for, but A-Chain's also maybe somebody with this roster you want to take a shot with.
I think long term, Dalton Kincaid's ceiling is much, much higher than Pat Freiermuth. Let's move off Pat Freiermuth towards the end of the season. I obviously don't want to do it right now because he's injured. He's not producing. He's not doing much. I think you're going to have a couple of bigger games from Pat Freiermuth towards the end of the season. That's a possibility. He's a guy that I look to move off of because, again, just tight ends in general. In a 10 team, they're even less valuable.
So this is interesting. Reading through your running backs. A-Chain, Jerome Ford, Rashad White, Zach Moss, and Miles Sanders. I'm fine moving all of those guys. Every single one of them I'd be okay with.
Yep.
Now, do you want to do that? Probably not. But the guys I'm definitely moving are Jerome Ford,
Rashad White
and Zach Moss. And maybe Miles Sanders.
Maybe, but Miles Sanders is so cheap you can't even you're lucky if you get a second for him right now.
You can if you can get an absolute freaking haul for A-Chain, like if you can go get like Waddle for A-Chain plus like a second, do it.
Yeah. Sanders is another one of those situations where you're not looking to sell him now, but for a contender towards the end of the season when they're desperate for running backs, desperate for depth, desperate for a plug-in, a flex option, see if you can't get a couple seconds, maybe a second or a third for Miles Sanders at the end of the year.
Yeah. And then keep all your firsts. Hopefully you're getting the 101, but your team's pretty good. I wouldn't sell the guys that we didn't mention. Don't sell them. So that's going to include JSN, London, guys you might be tempted to sell right now. Dotson, you'd be selling for nothing. Puka. So like you are holding those guys well. You're holding Kyler for sure. Yeah, you're going to get a quarterback in next year's draft, probably a receiver. I'm really comfortable with that. It's a really good team, man. Really good team. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you for your super chat. Thanks for your support. Let us know if you have any more questions on that.
Yep.
I'll let you get the next one here.
So Master7 says, I got offered 2024 first, Mare a 25 second for Laporta and Sam Howell. Guess I'm back to tanking. QB room is now Stroud, Dubs, Willis, Ritter. Smash accept, question mark. I would not say it's a smash accept. Does that mean I wouldn't take it? No, I think I would take it. I would take it right now.
Yeah, it's not a smash because Laporta, you don't understand, like Laporta's being really highly valued right now.
I think there's a chance this offseason that he is tight end 1 overall in Dynasty.
He is tight end 1 overall on Keep Trade Cut.
I thought he was 2.
No,
did he just get to tight end 1?
He was last week when I looked. He's still
nice.
Tight end 1. So like
good for him.
But Michael Mayer's the tight end 9. So
and Michael Mayer will be on the rise as well. There's so much fluctuation with tight ends, especially right now. If you're a tight end that's scoring points, you're probably pretty high up in the rankings at tight end. I really don't mind this deal because ultimately, what is Laporta really doing for you? Is he really moving the needle with your situation? But again, as a rebuild, if you own Laporta, I mean, you're pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah, if you're tanking, add the 24
I mean,
first.
that 24 first, I think you got to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you got to.
Yeah, because, I mean, you flip that 24 first, what are you getting on top of Laporta if you eventually flip that? Like,
yeah.
I think there's a possibility that you got more than that.
Yep, so I'd be comfortable going and accepting that right now.
Yeah.
Thank you for your Super Chat, Master7. We appreciate you. Big A, what's up, Big A? Thanks for your Super Chat, my friend. It's a 12-team Superflex. Start 10. It's half PPR and also a half-point tight end premium. You're 3-3, but you're 11th in max PF. That's interesting. Trying to tank, you have Hurts, Kyler, no running backs, Nakua, Hollywood, Andrews, traded Hurts, Andrews, QJs for Justin Jefferson, AR-15 in a late second. Good trade.
Nice job.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes, absolutely on that trade. We love that.
Yep. So, Big A, this is a situation that we like if the draft pick rules and determining draft picks are good in your league. So the records that you have in your max PF are obviously not consistent. You're probably 6th, 7th place, but your max PF is 11th. This is why, hopefully, I'm hoping for you, for your sake, that your league determines pick placement, rookie pick placement by max PF. All of our leagues do this for this exact reason. If not, I think, honestly, that's something that you should appeal in your league and try to get change within the next couple of years. But regardless, this is a good situation to be in as a rebuild because you're like, hey, I have some good assets good enough where I am 3-3, but I'm 11th in max PF. Ultimately, that's a good sign for you long term. And when you're making deals like that, buying Justin Jefferson low, buying AR-15 low, I'm completely fine with that. AR-5 now, actually. But,
yeah, absolutely. Big A, we appreciate you. Thanks for the super chat, my friend. We're going to jump back up to the top here. I'm going to give you guys about a 20-minute warning. We're going to do about 20 minutes worth of questions until we're going to take a break before we do our fantasy domain live stream tonight. So if you do have a question and you want to answer it and you haven't asked it yet, you can either A, pray that we get to it, or B, the super chat's going to jump straight up to the line. Big A said, thanks, fellas. You're welcome, Big A.
Yeah. Another question from Blind here says, yo!
What's up, Blind?
Yo. 12-team Superflex, start 9.
I think we
already answered this.
We already answered it?
Nathan.
Go to Matthew
my
Swan.
bad. Matthew says, how are y'all approaching Bryce Young's value right now? Easy buy low for me, but I'm also considering tearing up from Bryce for Tua or Hurts, if possible, by using extra capital. This is a great question and something that off camera, Avery and I have been talking about. And it's funny because the fact that we're even fighting about it is ridiculous because we both agree. Literally about
I
everything.
Just say I don't fight with you on this at all.
It's because he tries to victory lap around me about CJ Stroud, even though
I'm
I
not
was
victory lapping
with him
around
the
you. I'm
entire
just victory lapping.
time. Bryce Young, we both agreed over the offseason
Sorry, I was right.
that Bryce Young was a sell because of his price.
Yeah.
That we never had an issue with Bryce Young as a talent. We never had an issue with Bryce Young going into the NFL. We said that Bryce Young was a sell because he was being valued at minimum around above CJ Stroud, when in reality, because of their draft capital, because of their situations, they should have been back-to-back. They should have always been back-to-back. That should never have been a question. Now that Bryce Young has fallen significantly lower than CJ Stroud, I do think there is a buy window. And I do think that Bryce Young as an NFL talent, and even from a fantasy perspective, could be on the rise as the season progresses. He's one of those guys that is so intelligent as a quarterback, and you've seen him, even though he's had some really low lows in the NFL, he's had some very nice signs as an NFL QB where I think his development is just going to look different than CJ Stroud in the NFL because of his skill set. Stroud is one of those really high. We always knew that Stroud had a high floor. We always knew that. So we were going to say, like, hey, going into his rookie year, his entire rookie year, Stroud's probably going to look better than Bryce Young. So Bryce Young, I think it's only looking up for him. I think there's a chance Reich gets fired mid-season. I think that would help Bryce Young. So, what are you laughing about?
That would be
I'm
so
saying,
funny.
like, I think it's possible.
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Frank.
He's already thrown his owner under the bus. So,
it's everybody's fault but Frank's. That's what you'll learn when he's your coach. If you're a Panthers fan watching this, my condolences. It's awful, man. It's terrible. That was the worst.
It was good for a few years. First 3 years of him coaching, we made the playoffs like 2 of the 3 times. So
is that our standard? We got a Super Bowl banner right there, and that's our standard now is making the playoffs.
When Andrew Luck retires, the standard is just making the playoffs. So,
I know.
Wasn't all his fault. It was at the end, though. So, again, tough situation for Bryce Young. I do absolutely still believe in Bryce Young as a talent. You're going to get him at major discounts. I wouldn't be surprised if this offseason he's valued below Drake May and Caleb Williams.
All right.
I would not be surprised.
Good answer. Vice Envy says, congrats in advance on 5K. Thank you.
Yep.
Felt like you just hit 4K a few days ago. It actually
did feel like that.
It does feel like that.
Yeah.
Time flies. Mathis says, Dell for Kamala.
We already answered
I'm
that.
not taking Kamala Harris in a trade anywhere, but definitely if it's Kamara, I'd much rather have Tank Dell.
Oh, that tickled Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'll definitely take Tank Dell there. No, sorry. If it's Kamara, I'm fine taking Kamara on a contending team. Sorry. Dude, and now this is the part where you were reading that as Montgomery and it was Ramondre. And everybody's like, he's saying Ramondre.
Dang, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
We are really behind.
I know. We've gotten a lot of super chats today.
David says, assuming T. Higgins is a buy low target, what's the acceptable range you'd pay for T. Higgins?
Mid
Justin
to late.
Fields?
Right. Late 24 first right now, I think you can get him.
Yeah, I pay late 24 first.
Yeah, keep going.
To another question you're saying?
Yes.
Ron T says, what you guys thinking? What you guys thinking of a trade involving Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Jerry Jeudy, and Jalen Warren for DJ Moore, Luke Musgrave? What? What did I do?
No, we're not laughing at you.
We just lost a sub, and it's like...
because perfect timing. They unsubscribed because I can't talk. I guess I understand it, but for DJ, shut up, dude. For DJ Moore, Luke Musgrave, DeAndre Swift, and a 24 late second, which side are we taking here? So let's break this down. Kyle Pitts should not be labeled as a bust yet. Jerry Jeudy is a bust. Jalen Warren, I think, is irrelevant in this deal. Swift, like Swift's value, DJ Moore has a good value, right? Honestly, straight up, even though I like the players on the other side and Drake London and Kyle Pitts a little bit better, I'm taking the DJ Moore and the DeAndre Swift side. DeAndre Swift has more contending value right now than any of those assets you can get, honestly. Towards the end of the season, second half of the year, I think there's a chance you get more than a 24 first in exchange for DeAndre Swift. Not to mention DJ Moore. I mean, it is insane how high people are on DJ Moore right now. So for market value, I'll take the DJ Moore and Swift side. Tank Dell for Alvin Kamara from IT Mathis.
Yeah,
that's a great question.
We answered that one already.
Yeah, I know, dude. I was kidding. I was truly kidding there. I read it again as a joke. Kevin says 12 team, Half PPR,
sus.
Superflex start 10 contender. Give Gibbs late 24 first. Get Swift and Diggs. Yes, sir. I will do that all day. Maybe a plus on the Gibbs side necessary. If you have to give plus on the Gibbs and 24 first side, I'm not giving any more.
I'm not doing any more than that.
Then maybe a late second if you're contending, but like try and do that straight up. Man.
We did answer the next question. So Arctic Angel says I have Stroud, Howell, Pickett as QBs. You have Flowers, Hollywood, QJ, Dale Reed, and then basically just ETN. You have 4 firsts, 4 seconds. What should I be getting come the draft time? Good question. You need a QB, so you're definitely getting Caleb Williams if you can. We have 1 early, so if you can get Caleb Williams, Drake May, or Marvin Harrison, take whichever or how many of those you can get. Take all of them, and then after that, like I said, I think you're taking the value for the most part in these rookie drafts. But team need wise, again, you need quarterback. You could use another receiver for sure, and obviously you need a running back. So if there's good running back in late mid range that you can get, do that.
Yep.
TG10 says, what kind of running back could I target with Javonte plus a mid to late 24 first? Would you even move the first? I want to win now. I have 2 first round picks. I would move the first if you want to win. Yeah, I mean, now we've seen who's producing. Now we're very comfortable like trying to move our first to win lots of money. Javonte in a first? Let's plug this sucker in to keep trade cut and see what we can get people to fall for. 24 mid first. You can get. Oh my gosh, keep trade cut sucks, dude. It's just Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, no.
Gosh dang it.
So let's be realistic here.
Breece Hall maybe. Is it too much? ETN. I would be shooting there first either way.
Let's shoot for Waddle.
Jonathan Taylor.
Let's shoot for Waddle. Because Waddle is, I think that's pretty realistic.
I feel like nobody's gonna do that though.
I think you would be surprised. I mean, you saw the deal I made for Waddle.
Yeah.
You saw the deal that I did. Like it has happened.
So like,
before,
would you take Kenneth Walker or Javonte in a mid first?
Javonte I'll take Javonte in a first. No.
I'll take Kenneth Walker.
I guess yeah.
So like Kenneth Walker would be okay.
It's so tough at running back. I mean, Walker is
it's really hard
top
right
5 dynasty running back. So
yeah, I think you have.
Who's
to
your top
Walker.
5? It's Bijan, Breece, ETN, JT, Walker, right?
CMC's in there somewhere. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
CMC.
Top 6.
CMC, Walker. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What question are we at now?
I don't know.
Ryan Murphy says, what do I do with Ridley? You got to hold him, man. If you invested in Ridley this offseason, we did not recommend it. Then you're stuck holding him.
Yeah, we told you.
Derek says, 12-team Superflex just traded, I love saying it, Justin Fields, Sean Tucker for Jonathan Taylor. Nice job. Love it. Didn't win this trade. Kyron is lead back, and Hurt was relying on Najee before trade. Current record is 4-2. Other QBs are AR, Tua. Dude, if you have AR and Tua, and you moved out Justin Fields, and you got Jonathan Taylor, who just signed a 3-year extension, that's 3 years on top of this season.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Thank you. Love it. Absolutely love it. Kyle says, thoughts on Kyler's current dynasty value?
Bye.
Keep buying them.
Keep buying Kyler, dude.
Keep buying. There will be
the time is coming where you can't.
There will be questions all year long about if he's going to stay with Arizona. But if he comes back and he plays well and they start winning a couple games, they're not going to be in the position to get Caleb Williams like everyone's been assuming for the last 16 months. So buy him now. Ryan says, also I traded Devontae Adams and Kyron Williams for Jettas and DeAndre Swift. What? Are you serious? What are your thoughts? I have Kupp, Waddle, Ridley, and Josh Palmer, also 5-1. Sir, if you were talking about Dynasty Fantasy Football.
Great job.
Yeah.
Hold
Yes.
on.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, moving on. Antonio Thomas
Nice. What's up, Antonio?
says, just traded Keenan Allen and Miles Sanders for Saquon. Thoughts? Oh, yeah. I like that a lot. I do like that a lot from a dynasty perspective. Obviously, Keenan Allen's doing very well. Miles Sanders, you can't even pay a second because he's worth less than that. I'll take Saquon there.
Yeah. All right. Hey, 3-minute warning. If you want a last-second super chat to get your question answered, now's going to be the time because we're about to take a break and eat some dinner. So, 3-minute warning on the stream.
Hungry, dude.
Like I said, we're going to answer the rest of these questions we can, but super chats, we'll answer any super chats that are left.
Join us for fantasy, too. If you guys have
Fantasy
start
domain
sit
will be live
questions this week, we're going to do fantasy.
What question are we on? I got lost.
We are with Derek.
Dirk
Sitlava.
Oh, yeah.
Says 12-team Superflex. JJ owner wants AR, 324 firsts. All firsts look to be early 1 and 6 picks. Pull trigger or no. Not pulling the trigger there.
No, please.
You can get J. Jeff for cheaper. Mike says, Derek, I would not. We agree, Mike.
Yes.
Derek says, Mike, thanks, bud.
Look at that. Camaraderie.
Love that. Arctic Angel, Rebuilder, trade Hurts for Howell, Pickett, Flowers, 2 firsts, and a 24-second thoughts. Let's hold Hurts there. Pickett and Howell, honestly.
I see the idea, but Hurts is the best player in that trade, and we'd just rather have him.
He's the top 3 Dynasty pick.
Yep.
TG10, what is Zach Moss's value in Dynasty trade-wise? Let's get 2/3.
Yeah.
2/3. If you're
Agreed.
lucky, you can get a second. I don't think that's possible. Cliss says Myers for Devontae Smith. Bruh. Fantasy, absolutely. Dynasty, not a question.
All right, let's finish it out with any super chats we got here. We got one from Nicholas. Nicholas, thank you for your super chat, my friend. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate having you on. Any 2024 running backs you are looking forward to? Running back seems rough. I'm going to tell you right now, running back is rough. It looked like it was going to be good because you had Raheem Sanders, you had Henderson, and now it's like
you had that guy from.
I will say I was on a call with our team last night, and our guy Wes, who's an analyst for Domain, he was talking about what's Texas' running back name.
Well, that's who I'm trying to think of right now. I can't remember.
He's really high on not Bijan, stupid Google.
Look up Texas running back 2023.
Jonathan Brooks.
Okay,
That's who it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Jonathan Brooks, maybe, but like all these guys were kind of like unknown about right now.
I don't think there's definitely not going to be. I'm not going to say definitely. Most likely, no first round caliber. Not even late first round caliber running backs.
It's going to be rough.
Yep.
It's going to be rough.
You may see them fall even to the middle of the second round.
Personally, I've always liked Henderson. I'm a sucker for PPR backs. So
that's funny. I've always been a little lower on Henderson. We'll see.
I mean,
there's not much to go by until we really dive into the film.
He hasn't really, and so we haven't done a ton of research yet, but it's all kind of very surface level.
He's gotten banged up pretty consistently too. I don't know. I'm just worried about him.
Nick does say it seems like it's just second round guys, and he's right. Nick, I think
would
you're
agree.
right, man. I think it is. I think it's just a lot of day 2 guys max.
There may be look for some good values though in once you get to the rookie draft, because a lot of people will likely be low on the running back.
I do like Audric Estime
because they're coming after Bijan Robinson.
I do like Audric Estime. Yeah, I like watching him play. I think he is an NFL back, even if it's a day 2 pick.
Yeah,
so that's probably my guy I'm looking forward to right now because the other guys are kind of underwhelming. So great question, Nick. Good to know you're looking forward to the 2024 class.
Receivers are going to be loaded.
Appreciate you, my friend.
The guy from Washington.
That's true.
Odunze.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Our guy John. What's up, John? Thank you so much for your super chat. Thanks for your support. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you.
Start 10. PPR 1 QB. QB's Josh Allen. Running backs Aaron Jones, Derrick Henry, Devon Achane, AJ Dillon. And you've got Kupp, Watson, Brown, Pickens, Johnson, Davis, Mike Williams. You got Laporta, Pitts, Goddard, the 101, 103, and 105. Thoughts? I'd be interested to know, John, what your record is. But your team is good. Your team's very good. You've got contending assets. You've got rebuilding assets. You've got great draft capital. Anybody that we're going to recommend that John goes and trades here? Let's start there. Anybody that we should be selling? I mean, if you're not contending, then you're obviously selling Jones, Henry, Kupp. I would assuming you're contending. If you are,
he's got to be.
You got to be contending.
You got to be contending.
My thoughts are go win your league and try to win your league while keeping those picks. If you need to trade away the 105, you can. But if you can even get close to winning your league while keeping the 101 and 103, you're going to win your league every year.
That was a tough loss with Mike Williams, man. I feel for you.
I know.
We all feel for you,
dude. I have legit so much Mike Williams. So much. Like I have like 50%, which is stupid of me. But
I used to have a ton of them.
I didn't realize how much I drafted of them.
Somehow I ended up.
He says he's 3-3.
I saw he got injured, and I was like. Or when he got injured, I was like, crap. And then I realized I only had one share of him. So.
John, we think this is a roster that is better than 3-3. I'm going to say keep riding it out and keep those picks. And then if as you build some wins, maybe think about moving the 105.
Yep.
Look, just straight up, like looking at those right now.
Let's get Christian Watson.
You know what?
Christian Watson's not helping you contend, man.
John, also, is this a tight end premium league? Let us know in the comments. Because you've got Laporta, Pitts, and Goddard. There's no way you
need to lose 2 of those guys.
You need to lose 2 of them.
You need to lose 2 of them.
And honestly, of those guys, I'd lose Laporta.
Yep, and Pitts.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
As long as you don't get like totally fleeced for Pitts. I mean, I understand it might not be worth a ton right now, but let us know if it's tight end premium. If it's only start 1 tight end, then I'm not flexing those guys. Like. So move some tight ends. That would be my number 1 piece of advice to you for sure is move off some of those tight ends.
First and foremost, absolutely.
Yes. You'll get a lot. You could get value for those guys too, especially Laporta.
Yeah,
Laporta is the tight end 1 on keep trade cut right now.
Jeez.
So let us know as long as
Did you already say Christian Watson as a trade trade
I
option.
didn't know. I didn't see
So yeah, Watson. Let's move off him as a contender. I'll tell you right now who you can get. Straight up. Can you pull up the flock rankings as well? I want to see where he's ranked accordingly there, just to kind of get multiple. Let's look at getting Michael Pittman straight up for Christian Watson, kind of looking for something like that. If you can get even some running backs that are valued way lower than that, and wide receivers, I'm looking at Christian Kirk as a great option. I mean, talk about consistent. Kind of the opposite of Christian Watson. Christian Kirk is absolutely a guy I'd be looking for there. Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper, they will be buys for quite a while, and they will score more points than Christian Watson will consistently.
He's valued a lot lower in keep trade cut than he is in the flock rankings.
That's surprising.
He's the 45th player in the flock rankings.
Shoot high, man, and if people aren't biting,
I mean, you're talking
then go a little bit lower.
Saquon, Addison, Cup, Hawkinson,
No
Pitts,
way.
Flowers, Jacobs, Eckler, Pollard.
Woo!
Like, yeah, I mean, those are the guys I'd be aiming for.
Wow. If this is prime time where a lot of teams that are kind of in the middle of the pack with maybe some real nice contending assets, they fold and they put all their guys on the trade block. If you're lucky enough where one of those teams has someone like Saquon Barkley who has been injured and maybe screwed them for the first 6 weeks, bite on that, man. I'd even be willing to give Christian Watson plus a little, maybe a second or a couple to go get Saquon Barkley.
John, we appreciate you, my friend. Thanks for your super chat, and it looks like your team's good. So
yeah,
good job, and good luck rest of the season. We'll answer these 2 super chats. If there are any more super chats that roll in, we'll do those, and then we're going to wrap it up here. Anthony, thank you so much for your super chat, my friend. Slim Reaper and Pittman for Eckler, Mostert, and Lockett.
I'll take the Eckler side.
On a contending team?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Easy.
That's a lot of value, though.
What value? Pittman's the only guy that has long-term dynasty value there.
Devonta Smith?
Oh, I was thinking, for some reason I was thinking DeAndre Hopkins. My bad. No, I'm taking the Devonta Smith side. Whew,
Sorry about
bad.
that. Yeah.
My bad.
I thought he would say that, too.
Dude.
There's too much
Brain
value on the receiver side there. So even if you're contending, we're going to take that.
Slim Reaper or Nuke.
Yeah.
That's kind of a big difference there.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So we're taking the Devonta Smith Pittman side. Thanks for your question, Anthony. We appreciate the frick out of you. Bolo me boy. Back again. If I miss the 6 seed, what can I get for Adams and Thielen?
2 seconds straight up for Adam Thielen. That's what we're looking for.
Because he got it this week.
If you're lucky, a first, I don't think that's as common. But if you're lucky, man, do it. But definitely got him for those seconds. Devontae Adams, I'm looking for a first and a second at least.
Yeah.
Any rebuilding pieces that I'd be looking for there, like assets other than
take a look
picks.
At the cut real quick.
If you want to put Adams and Thielen together, let's look at guys like Olave. I would absolutely do that for Olave. Travis Etienne. I know he's scoring a lot of points, but he's kind of a nice rebuild asset to have because he's going into his 4th year next year, a contract year on a real nice team. He's only going to increase in value. I'm looking at guys like Devonta Smith. I'm looking at guys like Jonathan Taylor who have the contract. I'm looking for guys like Jalen Waddle who will continue to fall. He keeps falling, man. It's crazy. So, yeah, those are guys we're gunning for.
All right, that's going to end our super chats for the day. I do want to say, if you asked a question and you didn't get to it, very sorry. We had a lot of super chats today, and we have to prioritize those as you understand. So, again, we're going to be live again next week, so make sure you drop back in and drop your questions. I am going to take a second and talk about Flock Fantasy. FlockFantasy.com is where all of our exclusive content is. So, everything that you see here, but you also get our rankings. You get our Discord. You get free articles. You get everything that's over there. Not to mention, if you do the Mother Flocker tier, you get a team blueprint. If we could put a blueprint on the screen so they can see what this looks like for your Dynasty team.
Super cool.
The team blueprint is going to give you a good idea of what type of builds you have, what you should be doing in the future, what your 3-year outlook looks like, what your roster grades are in terms of positionally, trade targets, who you should trade away. It is a comprehensive review of your Dynasty team to help you get more direction.
I did 5 of them yesterday for people.
People are very much enjoying these. So if you want one of these, head over to flockfantasy.com/domain, and if you choose the Mother Flocker tier, you get a team blueprint, and you get to hang out with us all the time. But, guys, this has been awesome. We can't thank you guys enough for 5,000 subscribers. This was such a fun stream. Can't thank you enough for all your support. We love you guys. What?
We should go run a 5K in honor of
I'm definitely
5,000
not.
subscribers.
Nope, I have asthma. Guys, we appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. Peace out.
Excuse.
Have a good one.